See about putting chat on. Currently live chat is unavailable. Why you piss off? How am I going to get... I need to minimise that. Open up YouTube Studio. If you're watching, I'll be with you shortly. Let me know if you can hear me. It's all good stuff, this. Technology. I've not done a live stream since last Christmas, so you'll have to bear with me. Where do I need to be? YouTube Studio. Come on, where are you? Let's have you. Content. Oh, here we go. Not pissing about. Hang on a minute. I'll be with you. Of course, I've not fired the laptop up for months either, so... Oh. Got to verify that it's me. What happened here? Yes, it's me. Match the number. Ooh. New sign-in. I've been on bloody here before. Why is it put monetization as limited? Oh, I need to switch that back to... Please bear with me. Technical issues. Don't get this on the BBC, do you? Right. It's still saying limited. Oh well.
Is that because you restricted the age?
Yeah, I don't know. Now, can I go live and get into the analytics? Because I can't see what the chat is, if there's any chat. I don't know if there's any of you there yet. Can I go into here? Oh, here we go. Oh. Hang on. What we got here? Oh. Close that. Oh, come on. Oh, he can hear us. Steve Card from Stretford in Manchester. Looking very festive. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, hearing you loud and clear all the way from America. Oh, it must be a good line. What are you laughing at?
I've just got visions of someone standing in the hallway with a telephone on a long string.
So I'll just let it run for a little bit and just talk random crap. There is a bit of a delay, so whatever I'm seeing on the camera is a bit of a delay coming through here. I don't know if it's a delay on YouTube or whatever. Anyway, yes, the Christmas live stream. I've not done a live stream since last Christmas. We'll see if we can get a few more of you in here before we actually get going. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I've got some things I want to talk about. Today has been a shit day. I did age restrict this video because there will be some swearing in it. That will become apparent shortly. But I think to start the evening off, I'm going to crack open a beer. So we have some Heineken Dutch beer brought by a German friend in France. So there you go. It's very multicultural. Oh, a Dutch beer bought by a German person in France, given to an English person. So yeah, very multicultural. Let me get rid of that. And while we're at it, the Hobbit's having a Pelforth Brune. It's like an ale, but it's not.
It is an ale.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not a lager.
Lager. So let's crack these beers open. I've got to try and do this without, because the last time I opened a Heineken, it went everywhere. Oh. Yeah, so we've had a bit of a shit day today. I'll wait for a few more of you to come in and then we'll get to it. So this is for the Hobbit. She doesn't drink very often, but she likes an ale. Look at that. Good bit of pour in that.
Yeah, job in a pub.
Result. Cheers. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Chin chin.
Yeah, mercy buckets. Let's pour myself one now. Need to drown my sorrows tonight. I will let you know what's going on.
Keeping everyone in suspenders.
Oh, Steve is having a cause. So he's joining us in our Christmas spirit. Oh, state of that. Cause, there's beer in it.
Yeah, which I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
What one?
Oh, look at this. It's almost professional.
Almost. I'll stop muttering in a minute.
Look at that. Got a few of these to get through tonight.
Chills.
Hang on, we've got to give this Hobbit a cheers. Cheers.
Chin chin.
Ah, that goes down a bit too nicely. I've got some Christmas snacks here as well. We've got these things. You get these in France. These are, it's called the Star Tube. It's got like pretzels. So you've got like little pretzels like that. I don't know if you can see that. Like that. And long ones. Nice bit of salt. Wash it down with some beer.
Pour you into bed.
Of course, quite a bit of a delay that. I'll wait. Give it about another 5 to 10 minutes. See if any more people come in, and then we will get to the bottom of why today has been so shit. It started off really good. We was all happy and positive, and then it went down the toilet. Yeah, we're 1 hour in front, so we're at 8 o'clock here. Well, almost 10 past 8. Won't be far off our bedtime. Got to try and burp quietly. Pardon me. That's gassy stuff, isn't it? Heineken.
It's lager.
Lager. Pure malt lager. It's Dutch, isn't it, you said?
Yeah.
And it's Carlsberg that's Danish.
Mm-hmm.
Pelforth? French?
French or Belgian?
I can't read that. I think it says France.
Probably. I know it's French or Belgian.
Cheers. Merry Christmas. It's not gonna...
Made by Heineken now.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's either French or Belgian originally.
Pelforth Brune. Made by Heineken. Would you Adam and Eve it? Bloody hell. 1920 that is. That's an old bottle, isn't it?
Tastes alright though.
Yeah. So, yeah. Trouble is, it goes down too well. I have had something to eat. Now, not last Christmas live stream. On the last Christmas live stream, we built a little engine on the table here, and little Stirling engine, got it all up and running. It was fantastic. Now the Christmas before, I had wine and cheese. You know, I was showing you all the selection of French cheeses, and I was sampling them for you on your behalf. I didn't have anything to eat before I started that, and I was as rough as arseholes. And it put me off wine for it didn't put me off cheese, it put me off wine for quite a long time. I'm not going to get like that tonight. That's the plan. But I've got some of this actually, which I will be starting a bit later on. Ooh. Samrock it's called. Cream liqueur. This is is it French?
It might be Irish. Made in Ireland.
Basically, 17% alcohol. It's a cheap version of Bailey's. And you can't really tell the difference, you know. And I do like a bit of Bailey's at Christmas, so we'll be cracking that open later on. Is the Hobbit festive too? No. I wouldn't say so, no.
Not dressed festively, no.
No. She's festive in spirit.
Sort of.
So, yeah. She sat over here doing some crochet.
I'm more concerned about being warm.
Yeah. Well, these tops are quite warm.
I'm cold all the time at the minute, aren't I?
She's got the same top as me, but she's cold all the time at the minute. Obviously, the chemo has knocked the arse out of her, really. It's the last 3 sessions of chemo is a different drug, and it's the side effects have been pretty nasty. You've still managed to cope with every day, haven't you? But it's like tiredness, it affects your mouth, her fingernails have all gone funny, her toes have gone bad, and her feet are painful. It's a job to walk.
Got a cough.
She's got a cough, her eyes are watering because your eyelashes all fall out. Basically, it's a pretty shit situation to be in. But it's working, so that's a good thing. Surgery's booked for the 3rd of January, so we'll keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully in a couple of months we can have all this behind us.
I'm just grateful that I live in a country where it's available.
Yeah, and she just said she's grateful that she's in a country that all the treatment's available.
People out there desperate for these side effects.
From actually finding it and going to the doctor, it was probably how many weeks till you started chemo? 4 weeks?
No.
6 weeks?
I went to the doctor on June the 27th.
June the 27th was the first visit to the doctor.
2 months. It was the 26th or 27th of August that I started chemo.
26th of August.
26th, 27th.
26th of August, she started her first chemo. So 2 months. It was all the doctor's consultations, scans, this, that and the other, you name it, she had it, in for a first chemo, and it's been a chemo session every 3 weeks. There's not many countries in the world where you get service like that. Hope all will be good in 2023. That's to you, Hobbit. She might appear in a bit. She might stick her head in just to give you all a wave.
Frighten the life out of them.
Yeah. She looks like Where's Wally without eyebrows. What?
It was Uncle Festive not long ago, so...
You do. If you had a stripy t-shirt on, you'd look like Where's Wally without eyebrows.
I haven't actually got a stripy t-shirt, so...
So yeah, wishing the best to the both of you, for both of us. That's from Jerry in America. The Hobbit says thank you very much. All the well wishes that she's received since we put it out there that she's got cancer and this, that and the other. She's appreciated it all. And it's been a bit of a, not a boost, but a bit of a morale boost, I suppose, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's a bit of a morale boost, you know, people well wishing and that. Especially random strangers that we don't know. Obviously, we know you through YouTube, but, you know, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's life, you have to get on with it. So, surgery's on the 3rd of January, and then we don't know when radio starts. That'll probably be... What's funny?
You're just saying that's life. Whenever life gets you down, Monty Python straight into my head.
Here we go.
No,
She's off on Monty Python now. But anyway, so radio might start in February, and we don't know how long that goes on for, but you know, hopefully things will get slightly more back to normal next year. Anyway, I will get to the point of why our day was so shit.
yeah, nothing to do with that.
I had a few choice swear words in the car earlier on. Say, we got up all happy, jolly and jovial. We'd had the tyres fitted on the car. If you've been watching the videos, he failed it on one tyre, had worn down to canvas, and the other ones were wearing. So we thought, well, we'll change all four. Now, the car is on 20-inch wheels, so that's a 255 50 20. The tyres that were fitted on it were Continental Conti Sports, I believe. So they were 255 50 20 110H. So 110 is the load rating, H is the speed rating. Now, 2 years ago, he passed it with those tyres on. So bear that in mind. He's passed it with 255 50 20 110H. Anyway, failed it this time. Fair enough, we put new tyres on it. Ordered them online. Mobile tyre fitter comes out, fits them. Give it a run at the road, drives lovely. There'll be all these videos coming out shortly. And so right, Hobbit phones up, books it in for a retest. So he says, come up 11:30 on Tuesday morning. So I'll go up there. He asked me to drive it into the bay, pulls it in there, and he gets his little gadget out. He takes a picture of the front of the car, takes a picture of the back of the car, has a look at the tyres, and he's going round all of them. And he come out and sees the wrong tyres. I thought, oh, what? Now, I'd fitted 255 55 20. So the only difference is the profile. The tyre is the original was a 50, this is a 55, so it's very little. Same load and speed rating as the Continentals that were on it when he passed it 2 years ago. So he gets me the failure, he says the wrong tyres are fitted and the speed and load rating are incorrect. Now he opened the door and said there's the tyre sizes that should be on the car. The Land Rover have specified, I've got it here on my phone, I took a picture of it. Let me just unlock my phone. Where are we? Now if it's a 19-inch wheel, it's a 255 55 19 111V. Right, so 111 is the load rating, which is slightly higher than the 110, and a V rating. I'm not sure what V. I used to know all the speed ratings for tyres when I was in the garage, but I can't remember. If you've got 20-inch wheels, it's a 255 50 by 20. The load rating is 109, and the speed rating is Y. Now, a H-rated tyre is capable of up to 130 miles an hour. Our Range Rover won't do 130 miles an hour. Even Land Rover say it's 124 miles an hour. So H rating would be perfectly adequate for that car. But because it's not what that sticker says in the door, he's actually written down that I need it to be 109Y. So we are under the impression that they've changed the rules and regulations, and tyres now have to be the exact size that the manufacturer specify when they release the vehicle. So that's €850 down the drain. Well, it ain't, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find a set of second-hand rims and just get some cheap budget tyres, you know, some real shitty Nankangs or Kumhos or something like that, and we'll have them as MOT tyres. Because you can't get a 255 50 20 all-terrain tyre. Well, I can't find one at a reasonable price. So almost reduced me to tears. was like, shit, I've got to come tell the Hobbit that now. We've just spent €900 getting tyres, all for nothing. Balls! I don't bloody know. So I'm going to have another one of these. Let's drown the sorrows. I will slow up, don't worry. Well, according to this twat at the CT station, it's got to be what Land Rover say it is. Now, when I went in there, he took a picture of the front registration plate, and I believe that brings all the details up, because obviously it's stored on a database. Your category over here, it's called, which is like your logbook. It's all stored on a central database, what your car exactly is. And he brought it up and showed it to me. It was like a phone device. It wasn't a phone, but it was like a phone-like device. And it was like an app, and it had all the what should be fitted to it. So I'm pretty sure that, well, all I can assume is that they've changed the rules recently, because he would not have it. He said, oh, it's because the tyre sizes are different in profile, it'll put all your speedo out. I says, it won't. I said, I've checked the speedo with the GPS on the phone. I said, that's fine. And I said, and if it is out, I can change it with a gap tool. But he was having none of that. I wonder if I said I'd take it to Land Rover and get them to calibrate it, but I'd need proof then. So it's just not bloody worth it. Bastard. I did call him some names, not to his face obviously, because we need to take the car back. An all-terrain tyre that has a Y. Yeah, trouble is that, yes, there are all-terrain tyres out there that do match, but we're so bloody expensive, and we're on a bit of a budget at the minute, as you can appreciate. Obviously I'm not working. Hobbit's not been working for most of this year, yeah.
Still this year. Yeah.
Still this year, aren't we?
Yeah. At the minute.
Most annoying. So we're on to the second one. Oh, Hobbit's just picked hers up. Cheers.
Second sip.
So that was our bad news for the day. It didn't go down well, and I've been pissed off ever since, basically. So I'm either going to be looking for some second-hand rims, as I said, and put some cheap shitty tyres on it, or where I got the tyres from, they do a tyre and wheel package, but although they say that the wheels are for my car, they don't look like it, because all the ET, is it ET or yeah, it is ET. The rims, excuse me. Pardon me. Goodness gracious. The rims I've got on it are 8.5 inch by 20. The internal, the centre is either 72 or 74. Trouble with wheels and tyres, it's just utter rubbish. They mix inches with millimetres. So you've got 8.5 inch wide by 20 inch diameter, and then when it comes to like your PCD and your centre, that's in millimetres. Now the offset, the ET measurement, I believe on the wheels that we've got on the car is 57. Now the rims that are on this online tyre place, they do a package where you can buy new wheels and tyres. That was, the ET measurement was 43, I believe. No, might have been 48. So the lower the number, I think, the more it sticks out of your wheel arch. So I don't want to get some wheels that stick further out the wheel arch. Now then he's going to fail it because the wheels are sticking out. So It's going to be a lot of research. There is somewhere online over here that's got a set of rims with almost new tyres. The correct size, obviously. €850, but it's 5.5 hours away. It does say that there's postage available, but I'm not having €850 worth of wheels and tyres shipped and they'll turn up and they're not the ones in the picture. You know, that's the sort of thing you want to go and have a look at and make sure they're all right. It's too far because I'd have to go on my own. I wouldn't be able to take the wheelchair because we wouldn't get the wheels in the boot. So that's a bit of a no-no. So I've been looking at some wheels online. lrparts.net, I think they're called. They've got some rims, the Storm rims, which were fitted on the Range Rover Sport. They're an inch wider. So I don't think they're going to be any good because, you know, I need 8.5 inch. These ones are 9.5. They're £100 each, brand new, which would be doable. You know, you get 4 of them, shipped to France obviously, but then you'd have a bit of tax to pay because it's coming from the UK. That's the only downside with Brexit. But, and then I could just chuck some cheap tyres on that just to get it through the test. So, there's a bit more research to do in that department.
Don't say it.
What? No, I won't say that. Bloody hell. I'll get struck off.
Right.
YouTube will say, ta-da.
I was waiting for it.
No, I can't say things like that. Oh, I'm dropping them all. These mini pretzels are lovely. We've got all sorts here. Well, not all sorts, I'll eat all those. This is Super Ooze version of Pringles.
Just as good.
Is that sour cream and onion? Or just cream and onion?
Cream and onion.
Cream and
It
onion.
probably is sour cream.
Paprika. It's our little Christmas chobbles, as we call them. What are these? Cacahuète enrobé. Cacahuète. Cacahuète.
Cacahuète.
You'd never eat them, would you? Cacahuète. You think, oh, that sounds a bit shitty. Caca. Enrobé. Is that how you say that? Enrobé?
Enrobé.
Enrobé. You've got to roll your R's, haven't you? I can't.
Anyway.
Enrobé. Enrobé. Paprika. Paprika. The all-time favourite. Though I'm not going to eat all those. The old favourite Tuck biscuits.
Yeah.
And cacahuète.
Peanuts.
Cacahuètes. Dry roasted peanuts. Pre-mini. They're the cheap. This is like Tesco's value. But these are Super Oo. Pre-mini. Cheap as chips.
Not that brilliant.
And they're not that brilliant, no. They're not. Put some pushing down these pretzels. I think it's frozen. Hang on, is it frozen? Wow, what's going on here?
You've been talking away all that time.
It's not doing anything. Come on, catch up. That's working. Why is the telly not working? Hang on, let me just try something. See if I can get it working again.
It's not our day, is it?
No.
Oh, bloody is.
Here we are, we're back. And we're back. Back in the room, back in the room. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, modern technology, I think I'll be coming back. Yes, and we're back. They can still hear. It says, you've stopped moving, Ben.
Paralytic.
Yeah. So I had too much drink already. Hopefully, I think we're all back. It might be because I'm wireless. Before, when I've done this with a laptop, I've hardwired it into the router. But yeah, we're wireless at the minute. Excuse me a minute.
Oh, God's sake.
Jesus. That's pretty gassy stuff.
I should open your next one and let the gas get out.
Well, no, that's all part of it, isn't it? So yeah, with the tyre situation, we're going to sort of do a bit of research and worry about it after Christmas. We've got until February to sort that out. Pig. Someone called me a pig.
Who called you a pig?
James Halligan.
Wow.
Well, you're probably quite right. I'm sorry, it's this Heineken. It is absolutely as fizzy as arseholes. It really is.
You burp on water.
Yeah, but when I'm drinking fizzy lager, I burp even more.
Moral to that story.
It doesn't tell you what the bubble content is. But it is fizzy stuff. Yeah. But being called a pig is nothing compared to what she calls me, so... What was I saying? Yeah, so we're going to worry about the tyre. We got until February. We get he failed it a couple of weeks ago, and we got 2 months to fix it. Now I've taken it back for a contra visit. He's given me another failure certificate, and that's now another 2 months to get it sorted out again. So it cost us €10 today for a failure certificate yet again. Coming over for the new year. You don't want to bring a set of wheels, do you? Have you got room for 4 rims for a Range Rover? I've not sourced any yet, but yeah, obviously in the UK they're quite readily available. Here in France, I mean, Range Rovers are not common in France. You do see them about, and you do notice that when you're driving about in it, people do look at you thinking that, who the bloody hell's that? They're just not popular at all.
Dust, isn't it?
Fizzy as arseholes, that should be put on a t-shirt. Good one. I'll make a note of that.
No, I'm available in my store.
Oh, he's not got any room. Strap him to the roof, you'll be alright. Now, James Halligan, are you the one that I was emailing when you was on about moving over? I get so many people email me. My live chat tonight, I normally aim for an hour to 2 hours, but it depends how the chat gets going, because I get quite involved with that sometimes and I lose time. Yes, it would. Yeah, so I'll probably still be here when you get back. Oh yeah, he was that James who I was emailing.
Right.
The mobile mechanic, that's the one.
Does he fit tyres?
Mobile mechanic, surely you can fit some rims in somewhere. Oh well, don't worry about it. I'm sure. Well, we'll figure something out. But
We always do.
so I'm guessing that if the house, to buy the house, everything's all looking up, because I know you was on about your qualifications getting swapped over. Oh, he's coming over in the wife's car. So that second lot of expenditure that was unforeseen, and it's unnecessary really. Bloke was just being a tosser.
We don't know.
Like the Hobbit says, we don't know if they are, because in France you don't have to MOT motorbikes. It's, you know, they're exempt. But the government was trying to push for it. Was it last year?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's going to come into force this year.
Last year they was really pushing to make it compulsory for MOTs on motorcycles, and it never came off. It was supposed to come in this year, but it didn't happen. I think they're still trying to push for it, but whether they're sort of really cracking down on the test and... Yeah, just unfortunate.
He risks losing, if it is that, he risks losing his licence.
Well, yeah.
If he lets you
Excuse me.
go.
I'm going to have to start drinking milk. I don't think that's got bubbles in it, has it?
You'll find some.
So yes, we've paid out €850 to have these tyres and fitted to the car. Fantastic job. It drives perfectly up the road. Now we're going to have to spend out and on new rims. I can get some dirt cheap tyres to get thrown on the car to get it for its test, and then possibly pick up a set of rims and have these off-road tyres put back on, and use the MOT tyres for when it's MOT time.
Oh shit.
But I just don't know what to do at the minute, so that'll be coming along. But because it's another unforeseen expenditure that we haven't really got the money for, because a video that's coming up, I'll explain it in this on this live stream. We was experimenting with electric heating, because obviously we've got the solar system. We was seeing if we could heat the house with electric, and we tried it in November, and it was just too much money. We was importing about €100 of electric. We was using the Calagas heater, and that uses a bottle of gas on average every 20 to 30 days, and that's €45 a time. So potentially in a month you could be spending almost €200 just to keep the house warm, and it's like, that is a lot of bloody money. So we bit the bullet and put some oil in the tank for the central heating. 500 litres of heating oil was 870,
Something like that.
about €870. We couldn't afford to put any more than that in it, so obviously the plan is, or was, to put in a solid fuel boiler. Now it's either going to be a range cooker style boiler with a back boiler that we can plumb into the central heating system. Evening Ben and Hobbit, a bit late to the party. So it hasn't really got going yet. I've had 2 beers so far. So the Hobbit would really like a solid fuel range plumbed into the central heating system. The other option is a solid fuel boiler outside where the oil boiler is, which would hopefully be a case of pulling out the oil boiler, putting in the solid fuel boiler, and, you know, just connecting it up. Because we've got woods, you know, there's probably 3/4 of an acre of trees.
No idea. But we've
pulled a lot of trees out. The woods had just got so overgrown, really close together. There was trees falling over, trees on the floor. We've pulled all the wood, dead wood out, and it's all stacked up. So we've got wood that is good to go now. We could cut it up and burn it straight away. It's already seasoned, it's dead, it's been dead for a while. And it's solid wood, it's not rotten. So we've got all that. We've got the woods that still need a bit more clearing out, and we've got the top field up there, which is probably a good 2 acres. If it came to it, we would plant sort of some wood for coppicing, you know, and we'd have free heat then, basically. That's the plan. But these solid fuel range cookers with a back boiler are not cheap. What were they, about £2,500?
The really nice one.
Re-
Well, that's on the sale.
On sale at the moment. The one that the Hobbit was looking at is about £2,500. But if we keep cocking up with tyres on the Range Rover, we ain't going to have any money for a solid fuel range cooker. So that leads us on to the next thing. What do we do with the Panda? We've moved the Panda out of the garage, and the Panda's in the barn next door here, so it's undercover. It's not getting ruined by the weather. I've still got some work to do on it. All the front end's done. Suspension brakes, wheel bearings, steering rack, new headlights. So the cam belt, water pump, spark plugs, air filter. I've got to do the oil and filter. One of the drive shaft gaiters is leaking, and I've changed that one, and it's still leaking. But then we've got the back. I've got new leaf springs, shocks, wheel bearings, brakes, everything to do the back. Get all that done. Get it up for a CT, and the Hobbit's on about selling it.
We've got to.
He said, that James Halligan, I've heard if you have a log burner, the government are giving you some money. Not sure if that's correct.
You can apply for grants, but they're likely to want to take your entire system out, which means we'd lose these radiators.
Yeah, Hobbits said you can apply for grants, but the worry is that they're going to come in and want to rip out all our entire central heating system. Now, we've got these old-fashioned radiators which are like cast. They're not cast iron.
They probably are.
They might be cast iron. I mean, this house is quite old. The boiler's quite old. What year did I say that water tank was changed last? 91, was it? Or 97?
I don't know, but 90s.
So the water tank was fitted in the 90s. We think that the central heating system's even older than that. Now, these radiators are absolutely brilliant. When you put the heating on for an hour, you get them up to temperature, you switch the heating off, and they stay, well, hot for a good hour and a half, don't they? 2 hours. Almost 2 hours, they're still hot to the touch. They really, really keep their heat in. And both our experiences with modern radiators is they just don't keep the heat in as much as these cast iron ones. So that is the worry there, that
they want to renew
they want to renew your system. Obviously, if you've got a crap system to start with, it's not going to be, it doesn't make a lot of difference. But yeah, so the good thing is, with these radiators, we have the heating on, switch it off, and a couple of hours later you can still feel the heat, and they're really good. Now, we was really struggling with electric heating.
Because it was getting bad.
Because we've got about 6.5 kilowatts of storage, usable storage, on our solar batteries. When we had a heater on in here at 200 watts. We had one in the bedroom running at 200 watts. I've got the panel heater in the office, that's 600 watts. Basically, when all the heaters were running, we was pulling about 1200 watts, which gives you about 5 to 6 hours, maybe a little bit more, on the batteries. Pulls the batteries down, it gets charged up off the grid, so you're importing electric again. And all the time you're charging up those batteries, any load that you put on the house comes from the grid. So our EDF bill got quite high in November, and it just wasn't worth it, for the sake of getting some oil in the tank. Now, a modern house that is fully insulated, floors, walls and ceiling, it probably would have been alright, but this house is built on dirt. There's no real foundations and there's no damp course whatsoever. With the electric heating, we was finding that it was getting damp, really, really damp, because obviously the moisture's coming up out the floor. When we've got the central heating running, we don't have that. It seems to dry everything out quite nicely. So that's the plan. Now, the old Fiat Panda. Let's just have a quick look on Le Bon Coin, which is basically where you buy and sell stuff on in France.
changing mark.
Let's put in Fiat Panda 4x4. 4x4. Shit. That one looks quite nice though. 8.5 grand. So we've got one here, 8.5 grand. A really ropey one for 2.5. 6 grand, 3.5, 5 grand. 8,900, 9,500. These are all the old Panda 4x4 classics. So it's the old shape. 6.5 grand. I don't want new ones. Come on.
You have to speak up for a minute. I'll whip at the camera.
7,900, 4,500, 5 grand, 4 grand, 10 grand. Really rough one for 2 grand. So yeah, the old Fiat Pandas. We've just got the kettle going at the minute, so I have to speak up a little bit. But so the Fiat Panda's worth quite a bit of money. We only paid 2,000 for it, and we've spent probably about 1,000 in parts. And once I've got all the parts fitted, it's going to be like a new car. The interior lets it down a little bit. The site, Le Bon Coin, so LEBONCOIN.fr. Le Bon Coin, basically. Anything on there, cars, cookers, washing machines, you name it. I use it for selling a lot of stuff here in France. It's quite good. You can just put your advert on there. If you sell it through there, people pay their money to Le Bon Coin. You put in your postage, so you can either send it Mondial Relay or by the post. Now we've got a Mondial Relay drop-off point up in Nexon. It's 24 hours. You just go up there, you scan your barcode, the door opens and you put it in. Or we take it up to the post. If it's a small item, the post will pick it up from your letterbox. Will there be a festive local drive video in the Range Rover this year? Yes, I can do that. I'm going for a little drive between Christmas and New Year. I'm driving over to Mum and Dad's. We've got family come over to stay with Mum and Dad. We're sort of not going over there for Christmas because of the Hobbit. After the chemo and that, she's a bit immunocompromised, so there's a lot of them turned up there already. My other sister's coming out on Christmas Eve, so we're going to sort of leave it for a few days, make sure none of them have got any lurgies, and then we're going to pop over New Year's Eve to see them. But I'll be going over during the week. I'm taking my rifles over there and we're going to do some shooting.
Outside and then we're standing downwind here.
Yeah, so we'll all be stood outside, socially distanced. Nothing to do with COVID, it's all to do with the Hobbit. So I'll probably, I'll take my cameras and do a festive drive in the old Range Rover and see what we can see. I'll go try and, because I've driven over to Mum and Dad's before, but I'll try and do a bit of a different route and see if I can take in some sights. I'll see if I can plan a route with some points of interest for you. Because it does seem to go down quite well, the old driving videos. Got to wet my whistle. I'm drying up. Lots of strep A over there.
There's all sorts everywhere. We've got 4 viruses concurrently at the minute, so.
Yeah, Hobbit says we've got 4 viruses doing the rounds at the minute. COVID, the flu.
Bronchiolite, which is the children.
Bronchiolite.
And norovirus.
Norovirus.
There's probably loads more.
So yeah, I mean, if you listen to the news, you wouldn't go out, would you? So yeah, with the prices of the old Fiat Pandas, that might be an option.
It's our only option.
Getting it up for sale, clawing some money back in. At the end of the day, it's having the Panda. I saw it cheap, and and I know the Hobbit. It was the Hobbit's first car when she passed her test in the UK, and it was one of her favourite cars. And I saw it cheap, and we had a bit of money at the time, so I said, "Oh look, I found this online. You know, it's quite reasonable. It's got a CT on it and everything. Should we go and have a look at it?" So we had a look, bought it, brought it home. Now, although it had a CT, I think it was a dodgy CT. It should never have passed. It was pretty dangerous. The steering rack had so much play in it, and so we basically didn't get it on the road. And I've been gradually working on it as and when. And so it's in France. You have to have insurance. 2k ain't cheap for a Fiat.
It is over here.
You wait till you get to France.
Got no corrosion.
You try buying a second-hand car in France. Yeah, so £2,000 for a 4K for a four-wheel drive Panda was cheap at the time, and it is tidy. The paintwork, there's no corrosion. Cars don't really suffer with corrosion over here. Although they put stuff on the roads, it's not like the salt they use in the UK and your cars just fall apart. So there's not a lot of corrosion on it. It does polish up really, really nice. But you've got to insure, every vehicle you've got to be insured, whether it's on the road or not. So that's costing us money insuring that. And it's just sitting there. And he's already been told. I won't tell you how much we paid for the Range Rover, because that was not the cheapest of things, but
Lasting us forever. It's gonna last us.
it will be our forever car. We'll make it our forever car. It'll have to be.
Plastic bands if we have to.
Yeah, so after New Year, once the Hobbit's had a surgery and that, we're going to get the Panda back in the garage, and I'm going to just plough into it, get it all fixed up, get it for a CT and get it sold, and then she can get her log burning Range over here. Yeah, probably missed it. How is the Hobbit? You need to show your face before you disappear.
Hang on, puppies.
Can you not use that hat?
No, I'm going to go and get it.
Oh. Loads of money that we haven't bloody got, not anymore. Spent it all on the Range Rover. No, money's just got very tight at the moment because obviously the Hobbit's not working. Yeah, so Ginger Fuzz 1, how is the Hobbit? She's here.
Hello, I'm still here.
She's not got a Where's Wally hat and glasses on at the minute.
Where's my glasses? You can imagine the hat.
Yeah.
I think you said it was Ivy off.
Olive.
Olive. There you go.
On the buses. So yeah, she's still kicking about.
Yeah, still here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody, for worrying. What?
Got dogs looking at me.
Of course you have. You're eating pretzels. There we go.
I was going to say, yeah, she is suffering a little bit with the old side effects and stuff, but yeah, she's had her last chemo session on the 9th of December, and she's hoping that the side effects will sort of go down enough because what?
I'm hoping the side effects will.
Yeah, because she's desperate for a pigs in blankets. That's all she's interested in.
And roast potatoes.
And roast potatoes, because we've got some duck fat. Roast potatoes in duck fat. I'll do some special Christmas carrots, cooked in butter and star anise.
I'll give the rest of it.
That's all she's interested in. Oh, stuffing! Don't forget your stuffing.
Yeah, and the stuffing.
She does a homemade stuffing. Yeah, that'll be quite nice. The old chemo's affected her gob. All her gums have gone really funny. And oh, I'm going to burp again. Bloody hell.
Pig. Oink, oink.
Yeah, apologies for that. I must come across like Wayne Slob.
The royal family.
Bless her, wish her all the best of the Irish from us.
Thank you very much.
She said thank you very much.
I really do appreciate it.
She really does appreciate it. Now she's going out to walk the dogs.
In the rain.
In the rain.
Slowly.
Very slowly. Our two dogs are as silly as arseholes. They really are. They'll be absolutely busting for a crap. Their arses will be leaking. You know, you sat in there and you're like, oh my God, what is that stench? He'll have bloody floated an air biscuit and absolutely wiped out the room. You can open the door, they'll just go out there and stand there looking outside. Unless she takes them round the field and round through the woods, they won't go for a dump. Unless they're obviously really, really desperate.
Thick as shit.
They are thick as shit, they really are.
He's talking about you.
Hence the Mad Dog Farm. Now we're going to try some Pringles. These are not Pringles, these are Super Oo. Tweels they call them. Tiles. So there you go, look. It's shaped like a tile. Now in the Charente, over in that part of France, they have roof tiles that are a bit shaped like that. And what they do, I'll get a few out and
Construction work.
and try and explain how they use their roof tiles.
You're not getting up.
We used to live in the Charente, but we had a decent roof put on because the Hobbit's parents bought the house and they had a brand new roof put on. Anyway, you'll have, say you've got your roof, you've got the ridge of your roof coming down the side like that. So what they'll do is they'll put the tiles that way up, from the top all the way down to the bottom.
Right, see a bit.
And then they'll put, yeah, see in a bit, then they'll put a row next to it. Don't know if you can see this. Like that. From the top all the way down to the bottom. And then they put a row upside down over the gap. Now the best thing about it, they don't fix them down. So when you get storms and stuff, all the tiles move about. You get a tree fall on it. You'll get a lot of broken tiles, and you'll see what a lot of the old roofers used to do is they used to get up on the roof. Now, they used to put more tiles on the roof than they actually needed, so that when they actually did have to do anything, they'd pull the broken ones off, throw them off on the floor, and they just move all the other ones about because they put so many up there and they just move them to cover the gaps. Silly as arseholes, they really are. Here we've got, as you move into like the Dordogne and Corrèze and Haute-Vienne, especially the Dordogne, because it's a slightly wetter area of France, you'll see a lot of slate roofs, and obviously they're totally different. We've got, our roof is fixed on the same as slates, but they're not slates. They're like a, I suppose like a cement tile with like a hook on the back and a little hole for a nail. I don't know. I didn't put it on this. It's on the other one of my other channels on the Mad Dog Farm. Dad actually got up on the roof and fixed the leak for us because we have got some tiles in the cow shed up the end there. So he got up there, pulled a lot of the ivy out and stopped the roof from leaking because that was beginning to get rather a nuisance in my office. It just runs down the wall and you can hear it all dripping. So yeah, they call these tiles tuiles du crème oignon à l'huile tournesol. So made with sunflower oil. These ones are tuiles de paprika à l'huile de tournesol. Sunflower oil again. Yes, a nice spicy chutney. I would have made a lot of chutneys this year with some chilies, but out of 350 seeds that I planted, only one plant came up, and that was a jalapeno. But it was a really, really bad year for chilies this year. And I don't really know if we're going to have the time to do them next year, because the best year I've ever had, I started them indoors at the end of January under grow lights. That was at the old house, and we must have had probably 100 plants of chilies, varying strengths, all the way from jalapenos right through to Carolina Reapers and boot jalokias and all that kind of thing. And the plants were absolutely riddled out with chilies. We've still got some in the freezer now. But this year it was absolutely crap. It really was. That's what we like here. Keep the old Range Rovers running. My car's been as good as gold. It's just a twat of a tester. Now what do I do? Do I go for another beer? I mean, I know it's a weeknight. It's a school night, isn't it? But it's only just gone 9 o'clock. I think we'll be alright. We'll crack open another beer. Don't know where I did my glass. Now you'll remember our old TD6 bit the dust, but it was a UK car and both the subframes corroded out. I thought he was taking the piss, but I actually got underneath and started twatting it with a hammer, and you could see like little pinholes appearing, and it's just, no, it's too far gone for me. I did say, I put out a video saying, we'll hold a Ben's Garage event, you can come over and we'll all set to and get these subframes changed. Yeah, cheese and pickle. I was thinking about the cheese, but we're going to save the cheese for a bit nearer Christmas. 2 years ago I did a cheese and wine live stream. I got a bit rat-arsed, and I was really rough the next day. You'll not look back once you get to France. I mean, we love it. This, especially this part of France, it reminds me of my childhood growing up in Lincolnshire, like all the countryside. All right, yeah. Yes, I do remember those pictures of the subframe. So yeah, this part of France is very similar to like Lincolnshire, where we grew up as kids. Obviously, we moved to Lincolnshire when I was 7. We was there quite a few years, and that's what it's like here. All the countryside, all the farms, the traffic is the same. When we first moved to Lincolnshire, if you had like 2 cars go past your house in a day, that was busy. And it's like that here. It's bloody marvellous. Some things are expensive, some things are reasonable, but it's just a great way of life. Obviously, when we was working, we was working for the French and the English. Tina, the Hobbit, she speaks fluent French, so she dealt with all the French customers. Oh, bloody hell. It's making me burp just looking at it. I need to pour it into a glass. We're going to be a bit more coof today. Here we go. Look at that. Well, it's my 3rd beer, so cheers. Merry Christmas. 2022 has not been the best of years for us, as you all know. But we're coping with it. We're getting there. We're going to have a bloody good Christmas this year. The Hobbit has got two. She makes a really nice homemade ham. Tattershall Lakes. Been there many times. Now, I remember years and years and years ago, there used to be a market at Tattershall. And I can't remember how old I was. But I got roped in to do some work up at Tattershall Market. Bloke down the road from us, he had horses, and he was doing the Santa sleigh rides, but it was on a horse and cart. And they used to... I was the one stood at the back taking the money. Did that for quite a few weekends in the run up to Christmas, I believe it was. So yeah, Tattershall Lakes. So as I was saying, the Hobbit's made. She's got a couple of hams going in the fridge. She gets a big old pork joint, salts it up, wraps it up, goes in the fridge for a week, and then she pulls it out. I don't know if she washes the salt off, but she does one honey roasted and she does another one with a different, like a coating on it. I can't remember what it was now. But then they go into roast for like 6 hours. And they are absolutely bloody perb. Fantastic, they really are. Best bit of ham I've ever had. So we've got that to look forward to. She's obviously after the pigs in blankets. As you can tell, we're meat eaters. But she's like she said, I'm not bothered about the meat this year. She said for some reason, she's really into the old vegetables at the moment. I did the last chemo she had. I did a pumpkin and I can't remember what meat it was, but sort of like a bit of a stew, casserole type thing. She really enjoyed it. She said, could you do me another one of those vegetable stews? So I just get a big casserole bowl out, chuck it all in there, leave it on the stove for a couple of hours, and it just sits there bibbling away. So we both had it. I made some homemade dumplings, because we do a lot of cooking, and a lot of it's homemade. She doesn't like dumplings, so I was having the dumplings. After about 2 nights, I'd had enough. I think I had dumplings for 2 nights, and then the third night I had it with chips. And then I said, I've had enough of that now, I'm going to have something else. So she carried on eating it. She was having it for lunches as well. Anyway, a couple of days after that, can you do me another one of those vegetable stews? So I did her another one. So she's still on that now. It's sat next to me here on the stove. And so she's really got into... I think it's the texture of the vegetables. Especially when it's in a stew and it's been sort of cooked quite a long time. They're sort of quite soft. And with her mouth, it's not like her teeth are falling out, but her teeth said they're quite painful and the gums have all sort of gone funny. They do give you some prescription gob wash, which she's got some of in the fridge. So she's been using that. She said a couple of times she's washed her mouth out and there was actually blood. So it's like pretty nasty stuff, this old chemo. And she was looking it up the other day to see how long the actual chemo drugs will be in your system for. And it can take up to 12 weeks for the chemo drugs to get out of your system. So I said, well, you've been having chemo every 3 weeks. So you've sort of like got 3 or 4 chemo sessions in you that could potentially still be trying to get out. On your fingernails and your toes and stuff, it's the actual drugs leaking out of your capillaries. She tells me all this. I don't, she looks it all up. Pickled onion, pickled with chilies. Yeah, we've got some pickled onions up here behind me. I've got some pickled beetroot and some pickled red cabbage. Pickled eggs somewhere. We've got all sorts of stuff in this house. So the Hobbit has been canning this afternoon. We've started getting our meat from the dog food place. It sounds pretty awful, but it's human grade meat that is no good for supermarkets, or no good, or the supermarkets won't sell it because obviously the consumer won't buy it. Yo, Ollie! Yes, we're in the festive spirit. So that's my little brother just come on. Merry Christmas, Ollie. Grab yourself a beer, join in. I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, doesn't matter, does it? We might start on this one soon. Ooh. I think 3 beers and then we'll go on to this. So I might go for 4 beers. I might finish the Heineken off. I think I've only got one more anyway. So we'll have that and then we'll get on with this other stuff, which is, I thought it was shamrock, but it's not. It's samrock. I don't know if you can see that. Cream liqueur. 17%. I don't know how strong Bailey's is, but that's... we'll get on with that one in a minute. But I'm quite digging these at the moment. These Star Tubes. Weird things, aren't they? But they are very nice. So we're trialling these this year. I don't know, I'll probably mention this earlier on. Now I probably will still be here in 45 minutes. Yeah, so I'll catch you when you get back on, Ollie. Cacahuetes. I always thought that it said cashewettes, but it doesn't. As the Hobbit rightly informed me, it's cacahuete. Mind your fingers. I've had years of practice. I don't often get my fingers. Now these ones are not quite as nice as the next one up. They're supposed to be dry roasted. Dry roasted peanuts. Cacahuetes. We might try these ones shortly. We'll give everything a whirl. I'm just looking at the screen here because there's a bit of a delay going on. It says it's excellent connection and it keeps stuttering. Is it stuttering on the actual thing? Or is it just my connection between my camera and the computer? You'll have to let me know. So yes, what are you all hoping for Christmas? I did put in a couple of requests. One of them, good evening, James Gibb. Nice to see you in here. I did say to the Hobbit I would really like a Range Rover Classic because that would be great content for the channel and it'd be a bit of work for me. Obviously I'd have to get in the queue behind the Panda. That ain't gonna happen. Not after spending all this money on tyres. And now we're gonna have to spend all that money again on tyres and getting the log burning heating system put in. Airport run was perfect. Not a single issue on the motorway. I put my foot down. No lights came up. Drove absolutely perfect. Tyres were marvellous. The tyres is a different story. For those that have been in here a while will know the saga with the tyres. I took it back for its retest today and he failed it. He won't pass it with those tyres on. So that's €850 down the drain. Yeah, there are some options that we're looking into for that, but I don't know. I went for General Grabber AT3s. Almost the same size as what was on it. The tyres that were on it are 255 50 by 20. I went for 255 55 by 20 because that's the only size they did in the General Grabber. And the load and the speed rating were exactly the same as the tyres that were on the car, which he passed 2 years ago. But he won't pass it now because the tyres are not the same as what the Land Rover sticker says in the door. Yeah, old merd indeed. I could have called him some names as well. Putain. What's that other one?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not au fait, unlike you.
Oh, it's Canard, isn't it, I think?
Oh, yeah, Canard.
Canard. Putain. Canard. Arsehole he was. He's now saying that the tyres have got to be exactly the same as what the sticker says in the door hole. You know, the door shut. I was nearly in tears. I really was. And he just wasn't having it. No, got to be the same. He says you've gone for 55 and they should be 50s. He says that's going to put all your speedo out. I said it hasn't. I said I've checked it with the GPS. The speedo's bang on, and I says I can adjust the speedo with a gap tool, and he just wasn't having any of it. Because Land Rover on their little sticker doesn't say any other options apart from 2 tyre sizes. That's it. And the speed rating, it's requiring a Y-rated speed rated tyre, which is some ridiculous speed that the Range Rover will never do. Anyway, we're going to worry about that after Christmas. Not sure what to do, whether to pick up, try and get a set of second-hand rims and just put some cheap shitty tyres on it to get it through its test. You know, some Nankangs or some Kumhos or something like that. You see, we had Continentals on it before. Now we had Continental 255 50 by 20, 110H. 110 is the load rating, H is the speed rating. That was fitted by a Land Rover dealer before we even bought the car. He passed the same tester passed that car 2 years ago with those Continental tyres on it. This test he's failed it because one of the tyres was showing canvas. Fair enough, so we'll put a set of tyres on it. It's just a bloody headache. The Hobbit was saying, can we take it somewhere else? It's all logged on a computer. Everything's computerised. He does it, it's like a little phone he's got. He takes a picture of the front of your car, a picture of the back, and I think it brings all the details up that's stored in the database, you know, like your logbook or your DVLA type thing. So if we was to take it to another station, they can bring up the failure and see what it failed on. So it's not like you're taking it for a fresh test with a fresh set of eyes. So, yeah, pain in the arse basically. I'm not sure about vans on a crafter. Obviously, when we was MOT testing in the UK, obviously those sort of vans, 3 ton up to 3.5 was a class 7. And I said in the video, load and speed ratings didn't come into an MOT test. This was back then. You know, it's a few years since I've done an MOT. But on the class 7s, the load and the speed rating actually came into the test. It had to be the correct for, you know, or capable of what the van could carry. Now the load, these tyres are 110 extra load. It clearly states on the side of the tyre that tyre will take a load of just over 1,000 kilos. So that's, add them up, that's over 4 tonne. The car only weighs 2.7 tonne. But so I don't know if your van would pass its CT or not. See, I don't know. I mean, it could just be new regulations. Yeah. Yeah, see, over spec doesn't make a shit's worth of difference, really, because the 20-inch tyres on the sticker on the Range Rover are 109. We put 110 on it, so we've gone over. But he actually wrote on the ticket, you know, it's failed on the speed and the load rating, and the incorrect size, obviously. So yeah, it's a bit of a headache. So if anyone knows of any spare Range Rover rims that will fit our car, not even 19-inch or 20-inch, not fussy. And we'll stick some shitty old Nankangs on it. Nankangs, what are the other cheap ones I used to get? Can't remember now. Used to be all sorts of crappy tyres.
I just used to get Quick Fit's cheapest.
Well, yeah, they'd have been budget tyres of some description. Yeah. How's the Hobbit doing? She's alright, she's sat over here now. She did just make an appearance. She is waving, obviously you can't see her. I'll relay the wave.
No.
Now she's doing that.
I'm scratchy and
She's got fleas.
dry skin.
Now she's doing that. I ain't doing all that. No, modifying anything in France is... No, you're not going to do it. You can't put a different engine in stuff or anything like that. It's a big no-no. You can do it. You could build a kit car, but you've then got to take it to Paris for like in the UK, you could import an American car and you'd have to take it for an SVA test, single vehicle approval. And that was it. Then you take it for an MOT. Half the time they just made you, because American cars, the brake lights flash, don't they, when the indicators go on, so you'd have to wire up the rear lights. Quite often stick a fog light on it, because a lot of American and Japanese imports don't have fog lights. Pass your SVA test, then take it for an MOT. You go to the DVLA with it, you can register it. Not in France. No, they really want to cock you up, don't they? So you have to take it up to Paris, and it has to go for simulated crash tests, all sorts of things, and they go through everything, make sure all your lights have got the E stamp on it. It is a bloody nightmare, and I think even about 10 years ago, or maybe a bit less than that, it was about €1,500 just to do that, and that's only for one car. If you took a whole car transport, a load of cars up there that were all the same cars, they'd have to test every single one. You can't just test one and they'd give you a ticket for all of them. Oh no, robbing bastards. But so yeah, modifying anything like that in France is quite difficult, and it looks like they've made it even more so now, because it must just be new regulations have come in for him to now be failing it on the tyres when previously he didn't. There you go. It's life, isn't it? It's our life, that's for sure. First thing, we got all those solar panels put in. Marvellous. Extra power. Water heater packs up. Fucking lovely. So, how long was we? About a month without hot water.
3 weeks.
About a month without hot water. Anyway, we got a new tank. Dad came round and fitted it for us. So we get hot water. What else happened after that?
Well, the roof
sprung a leak. Basically, if something can go wrong, it will do for us. Yeah, they can't check for that. I'm not sure about the DPF, but the EGR, ours is deleted, and it's blocked. It's physically blocked on ours. They don't plug anything in to see if it's been deleted. But the DPF, I'm not sure. Now, our car is a 2010. Now, if you look at regulations for DPF filters, it was 2009 onwards. So although our car is first use 2010 and it is the 2010 facelift model, I'm assuming that it was actually built before the 2009 cut-off date for the DPF filter, because our car hasn't got a DPF filter on it. But I think the 2010s in the UK have got DPF filters. Or if the date fell right, I don't know. But obviously if your DPF has been deleted and it should be there, they might have a bit of a, oh, you can't do that. But yeah, the EGR, I don't think they'd make much of that really. I mean, on our old L322 with a BMW engine in it, that was, the EGR was removed. It just had like the blanking tube run through it. Our old P38 had the EGR deleted. That just had the same tube with the pipe comes up that was blanked on the side. They don't check for that as long as it passes the emissions. The emissions on ours was pretty good. I think the limit is 1.3 and it was coming in at 0.4, 0.42, 0.3. So it averaged 0.42 I think in the end. So yeah, it was quite clean. So I forgot what I was saying now.
Vehicle speed.
Eh?
No, emissions.
Yeah, no, before that.
Oh.
About stuff going wrong.
Oh, just if it can, it will.
Oh, yeah.
Then the car failed its test, plus my chemo.
Yeah, I said this year has been pretty shit, hasn't it?
It's not been the best.
But it could have been worse.
It could have been somewhere deep inside, or I wouldn't have found it for over 6 months and I'd have no chance.
Yeah.
I'd be stage 4 instantly rather than stage 3.
That's correct. Do you want to try some of these paprika ones?
I'll have a few. It'll take me an hour to eat a handful.
Can't get them open. Oh, no. Oh.
The dogs would love a pretzel. Oh, they're like those ones we used to get from Middles.
Come here then, you little shits.
Puffed.
Come here.
She wouldn't get
Come here.
she?
Thanks. Kira.
Thank you.
Kira, come here. Look. Trying to give the dog something, but they're... Come here. Come here, Luda. Luda, come here, mate.
Give them more space.
Come here. Look, on the telly. Who's that out there? Ludo, look. You cheeky bastard.
What?
Just had one off the table. You don't start them bloody tricks, mate. Bloody cheeky
You're going to
sod.
have to get him up in future.
Eh?
You're going to have to get him up in
I
future.
know. Did you see that? He helped himself. First time.
Clever boy.
I wouldn't say he's clever, I'd say he's a little shit.
Clever boy. Come in, mate.
These are those cacahuètes, coated and paprika covered.
They're alright, but
Don't you like them?
not really.
What's wrong with you?
I might do normally, but not at the minute.
They're quite nice.
It's not all gone.
No more, all gone. So the Hobbit is tucking into the Tuck biscuits. I don't know if you can get these in the UK.
Of course you can.
Hey, what, Tuck?
Sure you can.
They're Ritz, aren't they, in the UK?
Oh, they might be.
Tuck biscuits. Very similar to Ritz. Well, Ritz are round, aren't they?
I don't really like them that much.
I'll try one for you and let you know what I think. It's like a Ritz biscuit, but square. Obviously rectangle. Sorry, not square. Get my geometry right. Is that geometry? Shapes?
I think so. I don't know, it's maths, isn't it?
Quite nice. Not really bacony flavoured, but
But I can eat them.
Hobbit can eat them, so I've got these, but I'm not going to open them because we've got enough stuff open, haven't we, really? Someone said, oh, you need to get all your cheese out and stuff. I said, no, I'm not getting that out tonight. Oh, we've had Tuck biscuits for years.
I thought so.
Yeah, well,
I used to put stuff on the shelves at Tesco's, so I'm sure I remember seeing them.
I don't ever remember seeing Tuck biscuits in the UK. How long have I been in France?
12 years?
12.
11 years?
2009 I came out here.
13 years, isn't it?
13 years I've been in France. Bloody hellfire. I don't think I'll be going back to the UK anytime soon. One of the reasons for that, I haven't got a passport anymore. That expired. And I've just not got round to getting a new one. I don't really need it. I don't think. Because we've got our carte de séjour, which doubles up as like an identity card.
You might need it come renewal.
Yeah, when we have to renew the carte de séjour in 9 years' time, we might need a passport then.
Be nice if I could get back to work and get
Oh, get nationality.
nationality.
Oh, I can't read that now. Hang on a minute. There used to be the cheaper alternative to Ritz. Well, there you go. You learn something. The Hobbit's just said she remembers putting them on the shelf when she worked at Tesco's. Now, how many years ago was that?
Well, I never noticed that.
What?
I just looked at this thinking my gums aren't bleeding. They're pink in the middle.
Well, that's the bacon flavour.
Yeah.
How long since you worked at Tesco's?
15 years?
How many?
15?
Hobbit reckons it's 15 years since she worked at Tesco's.
I'm sure I remember putting them on the shelf.
And she seems to remember seeing Tuck biscuits then, so... I thought they were French. Oh well. There you go. You learn something new every day. Cheers. Merry Christmas.
That really is it. No,
Now what do we do? Do we go for the last bottle of beer?
you might as well.
How many millilitres in these?
Should be 250, I think.
So that's
A litre.
a litre of lager I've just had.
Well, not yet.
Well, no, I will have when I've had this one. I don't know. Do I go for it or straight into the Baileys? I don't think Baileys will work very well with crisps, will it?
Probably not.
Decisions, you see. Yeah, Lay's. We get Lay's over here. Now, no, they're Doritos. Doritos are Doritos. The Hobbit gets one of her favourite crisps up the road. Every now and again, we go and have a little supermarket picnic.
Every chemo.
Every
When
chemo.
it started, didn't it?
A bit of a treat for the Hobbit and for me. Because now we actually get our shopping delivered. That's bloody unheard of in France. Goodness gracious.
Free.
Free. You spend €150, it's free delivery. So we get our shopping delivered once a month. But there's certain things that you can't get online that you can get in the shop. Like the cheap onions and just bits and pieces that you can't, they don't show you online, but if you go around the shop, they'll be on the shelf. So, was it before chemo we used to go in?
Yeah, it was the sort of last week.
So the last week before the Hobbit used to go back into chemo, we'd go up to the supermarket and she'd bring out go in the shops and get some bits and pieces, and we'd have a little treat and eat it in the car park. So she was getting Lay's salt and vinegar splattered all over them. #1 crisp in Angleterre.
They were absolutely how I remember them being in the UK.
Yeah, like she said, they were salt and vinegar crisps, how she remembered them in the UK. I quite often have sweet chili pepper Doritos. What did I have last time?
Barbecue, because they didn't have any.
Barbecue, yeah. And a bottle of Yop. I don't know if you can get Yop
1400. I don't know if you can get Yop.
in the UK.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Can you?
I'm sure you can have to get that for donkey's years.
Well, you used to be able to get like a milkshake drink or a yoghurt drink called Fridge. Fridij.
I'm sure Yops have been around as well.
Yep. Have a good Christmas, James. And enjoy France when you get out here. Cheers. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Have a pumpkin bowl.
Well, yeah. Let's have another beer. We're going for another beer.
I'll have another coffee in a minute.
Hey?
I'll have another coffee in a minute, sober up.
Sober up.
No, I don't drink, do I, anymore?
Has it gone to your head?
Not too bad, but I know I've had one. God knows what my crotchet will look like.
Yeah, Lays and Walkers are the same.
I think the French still use some of the artificial colours and things that the English don't know.
Do they?
Well, so many things that are made in France under licence taste like we remember it, but they're not the same in the UK.
No. So yeah, we do get a lot of nice things in France. But they don't do pork pies, they don't do sausage rolls, they don't do Scotch eggs, they don't do Cornish pasties. What else don't they do?
Christmas cake.
Christmas cake, Christmas pudding, anything like that. So, all that kind of thing we make ourselves. The Hobbit makes all the pastry, and I quite often make all the fillings for like the sausage rolls and the Cornish pasties.
I like making pastry.
Yeah, she's a bit weird. She says she likes making pastry. I'm wondering, what's that all about?
I can see you.
Can you?
Yes. Got eyes in the back of my head, you know, and now I've got no hair, I can see.
So, if none of you lot have said what you've asked for Christmas, I've not really asked for a lot because we've not got a lot of money. But I did put in a few requests. Hey?
You got something you don't know about.
Yeah. Got no guns coming this year because I've bought a new rifle. Well, I'd ordered a new shotgun at the start of the year and it just wasn't getting here. I'd paid for it. I was paying for it monthly. It's supposed to be in May, possibly May, but definitely September. September came and went. October, no show. November, nothing. So I said, look, can I have another gun off your website that you've got in stock for the same price? So they give me a credit note on the shotgun, and so I bought another rifle. So I won't be having anything like that for this Christmas. Don't need anything really. I've got the rifle, got the shotgun, and I've got all the other bits and pieces, air rifles and bits and pieces. So it won't be any sort of shooting devices for Christmas. I did put in a request for a Range Rover Classic for project car for the garage, but that ain't gonna happen. Not now we're having to fit tyres twice. Plus putting in a solid fuel boiler for the heat.
Plus me not working.
And the Hobbit's not working. And a Range Rover Classic, they're expensive everywhere now. I mean, the last Range Rover Classic I bought was 600 quid. And it didn't take a lot to get it on the road. I welded a new cross member in on the back, sorted out some tyres for it, and got it straight for an MOT, and I was on the road. What do I hunt with the rifle? Generally pumpkins, Coke cans. What else have I shot at? Cardboard boxes, cornichons, marrows, courgettes. But it's target shooting. Now, in France, I've got my gun licence through the gun club, which is a ball trap club, so clay pigeon shooting. So, for ball trap, it's a category C licence, which entitles you to a shotgun, whether it's a single barrel, double barrel, over and under, side by side. You can have a semi-automatic with 2+1, so 2 shells in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, or you can have a 5+1 if it's a pump action shotgun. 2.2 rifles, rim fires, all the hunting rifles. If it's what they call repetition manuel, which is a bolt action, you can have 9+ and 10+1. So the new rifle I've got is a Bergara BMR 22 long rifle. That's a 10+1, so it's 10 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. So your hunting rifles, all your calibers, right up to your 308s and beyond, you can get all them on a category C licence. If you want to have semi-automatic with more rounds in your magazine, that becomes a category B, and then you have to join an actual gun club, like target shooting, on the range, to get your category B. Now that category B covers your rifles, semi-automatic rifles with a capacity of up to 11, I think it is, in the magazine. Certain shotguns are category B because of the barrel length. Handguns are category B. Category A is out, that's military weapons, you're not allowed those at all. And then category D is, all you need to be for that is over 18. That's things like all your air rifles. Air rifles up to 20 joules, which is about almost 15 foot-pounds you're allowed in France. Anything over that becomes category C. So I've got my category C licence, so I've got the shotgun, and I've got the 2.2 rimfire, and I've got air rifles and bits and pieces. Now when it comes to shooting animals, you're not allowed to shoot animals, even if it's on your own land, unless you've got a chasse licence, which is a hunting licence. Now to get that, you've got to sit an exam to know exactly what animals are what they're called, their living habits and breeding habits and all that kind of thing. So you really need to know all your animals, and you're only allowed to shoot them in season. And there's a lot of regulations about where you can and can't shoot, 150 metres away from houses, all that kind of thing. It's quite involved. But if you get caught shooting, say if a deer came into our field and I shot it, if I got caught, if one of the neighbours grasped me up, I could be in a lot of trouble because I've not got a licence to hunt. But obviously you would offer the neighbours a little bit, and then they'd be complicit in it, you know. Yeah, it's quite good fun shooting. I mean, the 2.2 rimfire is bloody accurate. It's got a competition trigger. Bagara are well known for their, you know, world class barrels, so it is quite an accurate rifle. So, you know, I set the targets out about 50 yards. Just have a bit of a plink. Got a silencer on it, so I can shoot that one outside, and it doesn't bother the dogs too much. The shotgun, they absolutely hate that. But I've broken that. I have fixed it, but I've not shot it since I fixed it. So that's a semi-automatic. All my shooting stuff is over on the Mad Dog Airguns channel. So if you're interested in all that, you can just go over there and see what we get up to on there. I do a lot of they call it less lethal guns, which are like things that fire rubber balls and all that, and pepper balls and all that kind of thing. I've got quite a few videos where I tune them up for a bit more power. Because here in France, category D, you're allowed up to 20 joules, as I've said. In the UK, like handguns in the UK, or air pistols, which they're classed as, you're only allowed up to 6 foot-pounds, which is about 7.5 joules. But here in France, any air-powered weapon, pistol, rifle or whatever, you're allowed up to 20 joules. But yeah, because I've got my licence, it doesn't matter if I go past the 20 joule limit. But yeah, it's all good fun. Like a bit of target shooting. So yeah, but I won't be getting any of that for Christmas. I don't really know what I'm getting, to be honest. I know I've got the Hobbit a few little bits. Obviously I can't tell you what they are because she's sat right here.
You know one of them that you've got?
Yeah, but I can't say that because I might give it away.
Oh yeah, where's that?
But yeah, a Range Rover Classic for the channel is a little bit out of reach at the moment. I was looking on Le Bon Coin, and a sort of semi-reasonable one that's in drivable condition, you're looking at 10 grand plus, which, you know, as I said, I bought my last one for 600 quid. I bought one for my dad years and years ago. In 2006, I paid £1,500 for it. It had old man emu suspension all round. It had the diff guards on it, the sump guard bash plate. It had a heavy duty winch bumper, a heavy duty bumper on the back. It had BF Goodrich mud terrain tyres. It had a 200 TDI fitted to it because it should have had the old VM engine in it from new, and it had a 200 TDI put in it with a larger intercooler, and it had the pump opened up a little bit, and that was pretty pokey. So that was £1,500, but you never pick them up for that anymore. Those days are gone. What's going on here? It's showing red. I take it we're still working all right. We started off the evening with technical difficulties, but I think it's sort of working all right now.
There's nobody's answering you.
Merry Christmas, both. I hope next year brings you better luck. Yeah, we could do with a bit of luck, actually. So hopefully we can get this Panda all fixed up and get that sold and get a bit of money back in. Will be rather nice. Didn't really want to sell it, but it's like the Hobbit said, it's costing money just sitting there. If we sell it, plough some money back into the house, pay off some bits and pieces, and maybe save up and get something else later on down the line. But see how it goes.
If I can get back to work full time, it's worth thinking about.
Yeah.
But until I get back to work and
Well,
know what I'm capable of.
Yeah. So we don't know, you know, the Hobbit obviously wants to get back to work, but we don't know if she's going to be able to do the same sort of work that she was doing. You know, she's lugging a bloody great strimmer about, doing a lot of strimming and gardening and hedge cutting and stuff down at the campsite. If she can't do that as much, she, you know, I think they'll still have work for her, but So I think they said they'd still have you on, didn't they?
Yeah, they said they'd still have me, but
It's just
it limits
what you can do.
what I can do and what they've got work for me. And that all depends on the surgery and how deep they have to go.
Yeah.
And radiation.
Cheers. Merry Christmas.
But we're still better off than lots of people.
Oh yeah.
So.
We do have a few revenue streams. Obviously, YouTube's a big help at the moment with the 2 channels that are monetised. I've got some other channels on there, but they're not big, so they don't get monetised. That helps out. Amazon affiliates, that varies. You can't rely on it. Some months you can do quite well. Other months it's not great. But I'm in the process of setting up an online shop for gun accessories. I've had a company approach us about selling some of their rifle scopes. I'm going to burp.
Maybe you should start on the Baileys.
Apologies for that. As the Hobbit would say, excuse my pig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they sent me a scope and I've tested it. I've not put the video out yet, but I tested it. It's quite a really nice scope actually, really clear optics for the price, really, really good. And they said, well, do you want to be a dealer? And so basically, it's almost like drop shipping. I'm only selling the scopes that I've tested because I don't want to be putting stuff out that's crap. You know, you get a bad name for yourself doing that, don't you? So because I've actually tested this one and it's pretty good. They send some stock to a warehouse in Europe. Obviously, we sell it on the website, and they ship it to the customer from that warehouse. Free shipping and free duty, so that's not too bad. So that's all in the pipeline. There's a lot of work to do for that. I've been working on making a website up and stuff, but whether it takes off or not, we don't know. But you've got to try these things. Obviously, being stuck in a wheelchair, it's a bit limited what I can actually get up to. Something like that, I can sit on the computer, mess about with websites, you know, all that kind of thing. What was that?
What?
Noise over there.
The fridge, Fraser?
It might be in the fridge.
Baldrick?
Baldrick? He'd be asleep by now, wouldn't he?
No. He rattles around up there in the middle of the night, doesn't he?
Well, I suppose so.
Bloody party.
So yeah, how many days till Christmas?
Oh God, here we go.
It's 5 days until then.
5 days till Christmas. I've only got 4 days left on my advent calendar. Got a Toblerone advent calendar this year. I've got my days mixed up. I opened the 19th on the wrong day. What day is it? It's 20th today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went and got a car,
Yeah. One day blish blends into the next here.
First world problems.
Yeah. Ben and Hobbit got to go now, but have a great Christmas. Hopefully a better 20. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah.
And 2023 can only be better than 2022. Yeah, all the best to you as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. I've run out of things to say now. Ollie came on earlier.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said he was coming back in 45 minutes. But I don't know if he has done or not. See,
Depends how many minutes ago he said it, really.
yeah, it doesn't give you a time on here, you see. so I don't really know. Yeah, I should have written a list of topics to talk through, because I normally do, and I didn't bother.
Too stressed.
Too stressed.
With your car.
Bloody cars. Oh, dearie me. I don't know. Things you do. Things you bloody do. Let's have another one of these, shall we? Quite nice. They're like a long pretzel. And one of those sort of pretzels. Solar generation. I'll tell you what, I'll have a look now, shall we? I'll bring the app up. Today, we did a whopping 1.2 kilowatt hours. Pretty shit. So far this month, we've done 121.7 kilowatt hours, which is rubbish. Really is. So I can bring it all up on the app. It's probably a bit bright. You won't be able to see that. You can go back over the days. But let me just put in how many. So in total, we've done. Now this total is since we installed the system. So 3,222.7 times by 0.17. Oh, what's happened? I pressed the wrong button. Twat. 3,222.7 times 0.17. So since we've installed our system, we've generated, used, stored and used 3,222.7 kilowatt hours. If we was to be buying that from EDF, that would have cost us, at the current rate, which I think it's been at that for the whole year, €547.85. 547 euros 85 cents. So yeah, it is paying for itself, but at the moment we're just not getting the sun. It really is quite dismal. We charged up this morning. About 5 o'clock it started charging in the morning, and it's finished by 10:30. We've got it set to start charging at 20%, and it clicks off at 95.
But for a couple of days this month we didn't charge at all.
No. Yesterday we charged in the morning.
To 50.
The day before we didn't charge at all. And the day before that we didn't charge at all. And the day before that.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. But the day before that we did.
It is December.
Yeah, so December last year we did 145 kilowatt hours in the month of December. That was with 6 panels. We had the batteries installed, but we didn't have everything on solar that we've got on solar now. But we did 145, so we've got 145 to beat. I think our best month was about 370 kilowatt hours in the height of summer. But we did notice that the panels really suffer when they get hot in the summer. They really don't put out the power that they do. Like at the moment, if the sun comes out and it's cold, you'll see a lot of watts coming in on the inverter. But say as soon as those panels get hot, it's, you know, it really pulls the panel, the power down that you can get out of the panels. But there's the life in it. Oh no, look out. Mick Ness is here.
Oh. Right,
No,
thank you.
Mick, I haven't done a live stream since last Christmas, and that's when I built that little engine. That little Stirling engine. Yeah, I don't know why, I just haven't done any live streams through the whole year.
It's been a funny old
Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird year for us. There you go. Cheers anyway. Merry Christmas. That's bloody lovely, that. Did you finish yours?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
What have I missed? How is the tall one? The tall one that's sitting down. She's only tall because I'm sat down. You know, when I could stand up, she was short ass. I know I probably ought to do more live streams throughout the year. I don't know why. I did one at Christmas last year and then I just didn't do any more. And then obviously with The Hobbit, going through all what she's been through this year, it's just been a bit shit. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll get back onto them next year on a bit more regular, do one a month or one every 2 months or something like that. Just to let you know how we've been getting on with our problematic life. That's it. I'm all out of beer now, so you have my undivided attention. Hopefully it will be a better year for us, yes. So we'll get our surgery out of the way and get all that sorted out, and then, you know, see what happens from there. Hopefully by the time we need to be thinking about doing stuff in the garden, she'd have picked up a little bit. So we did have a lot of vegetables this year.
We're still eating our potatoes.
Yeah, we're still eating our potatoes. What else?
We've got carrots.
Carrots are still in the ground there, quite
Hopefully
nice.
We've still got Brussels.
Yeah. I'm not getting a sore head, but I have got a bottle of this. Samrock, it's called. Cream liqueur. It's basically a cheap version of Bailey's. About £3 a bottle, isn't it?
It's under a fiver, I know.
It's less than a fiver for a bottle of Bailey's.
No, for a bottle of Samrock.
Bottle of Samrock, which is almost like Bailey's. When will the panda finally get fixed? Well, that leads us on to today's little discussion.
Is this Mick Ness?
Yeah, the panda will be getting fixed. The Hobbit's in for surgery on January the 3rd. When she's recovered a little bit from that, because we moved the panda out of the garage and put it in the barn here. Because I wanted to put the digger and the tractor in the garage. But things have taken a bit of a funny turn. So after her surgery, and she's sort of on her feet a little bit, we're going to get the panda back out of the barn, get it back in the garage, and get it fixed. Because I think we're going to be selling it. Well, I don't think. We pretty much are. We are going to be selling it, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got to.
Because we've had a few catastrophes. So any money that we did have has gone out, and we need to get some money back in. So with the prices of Fiat Panda 4x4s. Oh, thank you very much, Mick. Merry Christmas. He's just sent us £10.
Oh.
That's very much appreciated. Yeah, as I was telling all the others earlier on, the car failed its CT on tyres. So we had tyres fitted. Because they're not exactly the same tyres that the sticker in the door says should be fitted to the Land Rover, he won't pass it. So we just spent €850 on tyres, having them fitted, and he still won't pass the car. So... So we've got that situation to sort out. And then we need to sort out the heating situation for next year. This year we had to bite the bullet and we've put some oil in the tank. Because the electric heating just was not working in this house. The house is too old. There's not enough in... We've got insulation in the roof. We've got nothing in the floor and nothing in the walls. The house is built on dirt. There's no damp course. So with the electric heating, the house was getting really damp. We was using a lot of electric. We was importing a lot of electric. Plus we was using the gas... Calagas fire. And they're €45 a bottle now. And we was using 1 to 2 of those a month. So... what we were spending in electric and gas, we could get some oil in the tank. So we've put 500 litres of oil in the tank for the central heating. So the plan is now to get a solid fuel boiler in, whether it's in the kitchen or in the boiler room. The Hobbit really wants one of those solid fuel ranges, cookers, that we can plumb into the central heating system. And pardon me. So that's why the Panda's going to have to go, really, to pay for all that. We've got a lot of wood here. Obviously, we've got our own woods. We've got a lot of trees that we've pulled out that have been fallen down and stuff like that. So we have got a good lot of wood to burn. And that will be free heating if we can get that all up and running. Obviously it won't be free because we're going to have to pay out to start with, but it's always something in this house. We got those solar panels in and then the water heater packed up, so we had to change that. Then the roof started leaking. Dad fixed that.
Other way around, but never mind.
Well, yeah, but that roof's been leaking for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, Dad fixed that before the water heater packed up. It was when Ollie was here that the water heater packed up.
I thought he came after Ollie was here for the roof.
Before we did the roof. And
I don't know.
We were still without water.
I've got the videos. Can I print a new sticker? What sort of sticker? Ben's Garage sticker. I've got loads in the other room. I had them all on a website before Brexit because it was rather cheap to send them to the UK. Now it's just bloody fortunes. But I have got some stickers in the other room. I'm going to try a little bit of this Samrock. I'm not going to go for too much because I can feel it getting to my head already.
What?
Ooh. Ooh. I'm not going to put a lot in. Oh, look at that. Creamy. Not a lot, he says. That'll do.
Like my nan. Just a small one.
Just a small one. I did think about that, but he's got it all on his computer. He's got like a handheld. It's a bit bigger than a mobile phone, but it's just like a screen. And it's all on there. So, whether the regulations in France have really tightened up. The tyres that were fitted on it.
For God's sake.
Pardon me, that's that beer. The tyres that were on it had a load and speed rating that are different to what was on the sticker. Now he passed that 2 years ago with the tyres that were on it. The Continental Conti Sports, I think they're 110H. So we put on some 110Hs, slightly different size. We went 255/55 because we went for all terrains, and it should be a 255/50. But he said it needs to be 109Y. It's like, well, why? The Range Rover's never going to go that fast. I can't remember what Y it is. Let me just have a look at speed ratings. Speed rating for tyres. Tyre speed ratings. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Tyre speed ratings. Yeah, Bubbles in the Hobbit's cooking. Right, here we go. Look, let's see what the AA has to say. Come on, where are you? Now, a Y-rated tyre is speed rated to 186 miles an hour. What the bloody hell are Land Rover thinking of? Come on. This 3.6 TDV8, Land Rover actually say it will only do 124 miles an hour. Why does it need Y-rated tyres on it that are rated to 186? It's absolute bollocks. I did age restrict this live stream because I did say I was going to do some swearing. Where's H? H, J, K, L, M. Why hasn't it got H? Oh, well that's bloody stupid. It goes RSTUH VWY. H-rated tyre, speed rating is up to 130 miles an hour. That is more than capable for the car, because the car only does 124. I've never gone that far. I might have gone 100 miles an hour in it. I think I've got it up to 160 just to try it. No, we don't drive fast. But the Land Rover sticker for the 20-inch wheel says 109Y. Yeah, what's 109 mean? 109 is 1,030 kilos. Now, we've put 110s on it, which is 1,060 kilos. So we've gone over spec on the load rating and under on the speed rating. I just can't get my head around it. I know that sticker is probably generic for all the models of the 2010 Range Rover, so that'll be the 3.6 TDV8, it'll be the 5 litre V8 petrol and the 5 litre supercharged. I don't know how, they'll never see 186 miles an hour. What was this? The 19-inch is a different speed rating, which work that one out. The 19-inch requires 111V. So 111 is 1090. So if you put 19-inch tyres on, your car's going to get heavier. And V is 149 miles an hour. The trouble is with taking it for a test at another station is it's all computerised. It's all logged onto a computer. So I take it to another station, they'll see that somewhere else has failed it on tyres, so they're going to go straight and looking at that. So there's no way around it really. It's get the right tyres fitted. It's just annoying because 2 years ago he passed it with 110 H's on didn't bat an eyelid. It's just really bloody annoying because that's €850 we've just spent out, and now we're going to have to spend a bit more. I'm going to see if I can get from somewhere, whether it's in the UK, someone brings them out or they get shipped out, some second-hand rims, and I'm just going to put some like shitty Nankangs on it or something like that, or Kumhos, or some cheap shitty budget tyre. Just to get it through the test, and then I'll stick these off-road all-terrains back on it. Trouble is, Range Rovers over here are few and far between. It would be ideal if I knew somebody who had some, just to swap over, just to borrow their wheels for a morning or an afternoon. I just don't know anyone. You don't see them. Not the full-size range. Now the Range Rover Sport has got a different size wheel. They've got the full fat Range Rover like we've got. It's 8.5 inches wide. The Range Rover Sport is 9.5 inches wide. and I don't know if I think the offset's slightly different as well. And I don't want to go to the effort of buying new wheels, go to fit them, and then the offset's wrong, and they either hit the suspension or the brakes, or they stick out past the wheel arch, because he'll fail it on that, obviously. So I just don't know whether I try and get a set of second-hand rims and put some shitty budget tyres on it just for the test, and then put these all-terrains back on it. I don't know. It's just a bit gutting. Nearly brought me to tears today, it did. Bloody hell, 2 hours 19 minutes.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
I don't. Probably he wasn't exactly local. He was 2 hours away. He said, "What about the one that I fixed?" See, that's the trouble. Local is 2 to 3 hours in France. It's a big old country. I think he drove. Where did he come from? He was near Angoulême, wasn't he? I think he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he drove 2 hours. Spent half hour here. I fixed his car, and he drove home 2 hours. But oh no, it's a shame we haven't still got the TD6. We could have put those wheels on it. They were 20-inch. I'm not buying another car just for a set of wheels.
What's the Audi?
Oh, they're 16.
Oh.
They'd never fit. So yeah, it's the tyre. There's the firm where I've got the tyres from. They do a wheel and tyre package with some just random alloy wheels that was supposed to fit Range Rovers, but the offsets are all wrong. So I just don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it too much. We're going to have Christmas first. I've got until February to sort this tyre dilemma out, because you get 2 months to fix any faults. So get Christmas out of the way, and then I'm going to have to just buckle down and see if we can sort this sort of solution out, whether I can borrow some wheels for a day or something, or just get a cheap set of rims. I just don't know.
That would be the preferred, because then you've got them for every MOT
Yeah.
rather than trying to borrow again.
Well, that's it. That is definitely it.
But, like you say, let you have your Christmas.
Yeah, see, I don't really like aftermarket rims. There's probably nothing wrong with them, but I would rather stick with Land Rover's own, because you know that they're rated for the weight of the car.
If you're not going to be driving on them.
Well, no, but yeah, it's just a bit of a dilemma. But we're going to enjoy our Christmas first. I can't do anything with these tyres because I've used them. You know, they've been on the car for a few days. We've driven it up the road. I've done an airport run yesterday. Hire a car for the day, take them off and get the test done.
Christ.
You can't hire things like Range Rovers over here. Bloody hell.
If you could, how much? Good to think.
There'll be a solution. I'll just get some cheap rims from somewhere. But we'll sort something out. I'll put out a request, see if there's any Range Rover owners in France that have got the right size wheels on. Well, the right size tyres, sorry. Now, I have noticed the noise is actually quieter with these all-terrain tyres than it was with the road tyres, which it might sound hard to believe, but a lot of people say that when you go up a profile, obviously the originals were 255/50s, these are 255/55, so you've got a bit more profile in your tyre. they give it a bit of squish.
That's a very technical term.
And it's a bit of a softer ride. So it seems to absorb a lot of the bumps more. We did a decibel meter reading before and after. 80 kilometres an hour, which is the speed limit on main roads. The old tyres were 65 to 66 decibels, and then the new all-terrain tyres were 62 to 64 decibels. Is there a Range Rover dealer in it? Yeah, well, there's obviously the Land Rover dealer in Limoges, but the newer they won't have a 2010 up there. You could probably demo a newer version, but they've all got bloody different size wheels and tyres on. How's it going over there?
I'm trying to work it out. I've got the ribbon on it.
Yeah.
Or more.
What, to where your thumb is?
No, I'm saying, should there be more?
I don't know, I don't think so.
No, I might start on the ribbon next then.
It's alright. Hobbit was just asking for my expert opinion. She's doing some crocheting. Crochet.
Turning into my grandma. I'm still cutting it.
She's about to tuck into some sweets now, so she can't be that bad, can she? No, not for me, thanks.
Oh no, not for me. You had yours, hadn't you?
No, I've got my patty fruits over there. I'm still on my savoury.
These ain't gonna last. Well, I was wondering about another tuck biscuit, but it took a bit pushing down.
The dogs did come to the table. I gave them a pretzel.
Ludo, try it again.
Mick said they've not been to the table, so I guess there's no cheese on offer. Who would like a pretzel?
Oh, I better give her.
Do you want a pretzel? Kira? Come on. Come on in. Ludo.
She won't get up.
Ludo, come here, mate. Come here. Come on. Mick wants to see you.
Hang on, he's getting old.
He's having a bit of a stretch. Come in, up. Come on.
On the table again.
Up. Come on. You can see he's got his eyes on him. You cheeky twat.
Did he do it again?
Yeah. Come here.
We have to put another one on the table now.
Yeah, look. Ludo. Come on. Come on. Stay there.
Kira's decided she likes them this year.
Look, up there. Ludo.
Ludo.
There you go, last one. That's it, mate. All gone.
Come here. Cheeky little bugger. Teaching you bad habits, aren't I?
Yeah. Merry Christmas. It's good to see you on here again. All the best for 2023.
Yeah,
it's going to be a better year for us. Hopefully it will be a good year for you too.
Good puppies.
Aren't we getting old?
Hey?
Mick said, aren't we getting old? The dogs. Yeah, he was having a stretch. Sorry, I was taking a bit of a while to catch up then. She's going to be 12 in March, and he's 11. Yeah. She's almost 12 and he's almost 11.
Good boy.
So yeah, they are getting on a little bit for dogs, but you wouldn't know it when they get outside. They tear around like a pair of idiots.
Nothing else. Settle down. Oh, come on.
Jog on now, you're not having any more.
Yeah, you need to lay down and go back to sleep. Because for as long as you're eating there while he's away, you'll just have to lob them at her.
Funny you should say that, Mick. We had goats in the garden the other day.
A goat.
A goat. The neighbours have got goats. No more, mate. All gone. Go and lie down. Go and lie down.
Good boy.
He's a good boy. Cheeky little sod. Neighbours have got goats, and I was doing something there, and I said to Tina, what did I say to you? I said,
That's on the wrong side of the fence.
that goat's on our side of the fence. Luckily, the dogs didn't see it, and the dogs ran indoors. But it did make its way back into its own garden. It sort of jumped over the fence. It did get caught on the barbed wire. So yeah, we did actually have a goat for half hour. I'm pleased to see that chickens might be on the farm next. On the farm for soon. You just need goats and pigs next. Hello, David. We will be getting animals here on the farm when the Hobbit's back firing on all cylinders. At the moment, it's just a no-go. We've got the chicken houses pretty much built, but until she's back fighting fit again, can't really do it.
And we've got the money.
And we need the money, obviously. So it will happen. Just not sure when. I think I'm going to be doing absolutely nothing tomorrow. Oh, apart from making dinner.
Tell you what, we've beans on toast, shall we?
No, I'm looking forward to the old PP. So tomorrow we're having a speciality. We can't say the word because the dogs know what it is, and so we call it a PP or Italian flatbread. It's been the Hobbit's pre-chemo treat, so 2 days before chemo we've been making a PP, Italian round flatbread. So that's become a bit of a thing. So obviously I'm not obviously, but I'm making them tomorrow. So I normally make 2 and they last for 2 days. I won't mention that, David, because we've got somebody here that really likes donkeys.
Oh, we've got room for several.
We haven't got room for any donkeys.
We've got room for loads.
The supplies in the cellar are doing quite well. How many jars of gherkins have we got?
25?
I thought it was more than that.
And we have only eaten a couple. I know that we've got nearly 60 jars of potatoes.
Have we really? We've got a lot of food canned downstairs. We planted cornichons, which is gherkins. They just kept coming every single day, every day. Pick them when they're quite small. Pickle them in a jar. Lovely jubbly. Potatoes, the Hobbits canned those up. We are still using our potatoes that we've got stored outside.
We've got enough till at least February outside.
So outside we've got enough potatoes till about February. Then we've got the canned potatoes that are downstairs. That would probably last us all through the year until we start picking the fresh lot of potatoes up next year. There's quite a lot of stuff downstairs. Now, before the Hobbit started chemo, she said, right, well, we're going to get prepared. Yeah, brown sauce is bloody lovely. The last batch I made, I put a bit too much salt in it, so it's still all right. But next time I'll cut the salt down a bit. So yeah, before she started chemo, she's like made loads of pastry, loads of pasta, and put it in the freezer. Brought some jars up that I could eat, stuff, because we didn't know how chemo was going to affect her. And the first 3 chemos weren't too bad. It didn't really affect your mouth, did it, or anything like that?
No.
So we was pretty much eating as normal the first 3, and then after that they changed the drug, and the side effects started getting worse and worse. And she's still got the appetite, so she's been eating, but we've had to sort of change the diet so that it's sort of softish food. So I made loads of naan breads, which are like really soft. She can eat those because the gums go funny and your teeth go a bit funny. So anything sort of hard or crispy, so like real sort of like sharp edges, like if you know chips and stuff like that. If they got like a sharp edge, it digs into her gums and it's quite unpleasant. So we've sort of adjusted our meals to suit that sort of thing. I've made a couple of big lots of vegetables stew, which I've had a couple of nights, but then I'll have something else out of a jar. So we've been prepared for that. So some of the stuff that was in the cellar has come up, and we've been using it. Yeah, that's the trouble with donkeys. They need daily care, as you said.
Well, I'm well enough.
Rice should be okay for her. You have had rice, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had rice.
Yeah, we've had rice. We did
Rice, mashed potatoes.
rice, mashed potatoes, your naan breads.
So you made soft naan breads, soft breads.
I've been making soft loaves as well. Does the food taste different?
Yes.
Yeah, you said that it was like a metallic-y taste in your mouth all the time.
The food itself doesn't taste metallic, but I have got a constant, permanent, since Taxotere, I've got permanent. I'm assuming it's metallic. I don't go around chewing iron bars.
No.
So, but yeah, strange.
So yeah, since she's been on this Taxotere, which was like the last 3 sessions, she's had like a constant taste in her mouth, like sort of like metallic taste. The actual food doesn't taste any different, but because she's got that taste in her mouth all the time, it sort of affects what you're eating. Now the first 3 chemos, you were still eating sort of spicy food, weren't you?
Yeah, I could quite happily.
She was still eating like the spicy food, and that we had carrot and coriander soup, which she made, put and jarred it up. We had forgotten how spicy it was, so we brought it up, and it was like, Jesus Christ, that is spicy. But she ate it, and it didn't affect her. But since she's been on the Taxotere, she can't tolerate the spicy food. So, yeah.
Radiation is supposed to be bad as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And apparently radiation treatment, when that comes, is not going to be much better. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I'll be alright by June.
Yeah. I know we joke about Tina. Please tell her she is a star and to stay strong.
Who's that?
Mick.
Oh, bless. Thank you.
I don't know if you can hear her piping up in the background, but she said thank you very much. I do tell, obviously I get a lot of comments and that on videos and stuff, wishing the Hobbit well, and I do pass on the messages, and she does appreciate it. It's nice to know that there's people out there thinking of you. We've never met most of you, but we always have a bit of friendly banter on here. We're just normal people, so there you go. Innit?
It does do your morale good to know that people care.
Yeah. I think that will do for my alcoholic beverages for this evening. I don't want to get like I did do that time before when we was on the cheese and wine, because that was bad. What was that t-shirt I've got to make up?
Something about bubbles and arseholes.
It'll be on here. I can go back through and have a look. Yeah, so that's it for chemo. She's finished now. Last one was on the 9th of December. And
I
say
should be alright for my pigs.
surgery is booked for 3rd of January. That's all going ahead. She had a rendezvous the other day. Met the surgeon. Was it the surgeon or the oncologist?
Was the surgeon?
Was the
I
surgeon?
saw the oncologist a couple of weeks before.
Yeah, had a rendezvous with the surgeon. Met up with the anaesthetist. That's all going ahead. Say 3rd of January.
Out same day.
P.S. She needs to get better soon so she can paint the skirting boards off a ladder. Yeah, we've got a bit of miniature scaffolding for her. I could get one of those radio-controlled forklifts, couldn't I? And put like a little platform on it and lift it up. There you go. Job's the carrot. All I'm getting over here is head shaking.
With a grin. I don't know.
No, I don't. Oh, dearie me. So yeah, this live stream's been a bit of doom and gloom, really. It's supposed to be a festive Christmas live stream, but
I'm still 6 feet above.
well, that's it. Yeah, that's festive and upbeat, isn't it? She's still above ground, so we do joke, but some people will probably think, "Oh, you're a bit morbid," but she's still here. That's the main thing. So she was probably the same when I was in hospital.
Yeah, I was. I still am. If anyone says, "Oh, how awful," I said, "Well, he's still here."
Well, that's it. But yeah. Have you got a ramp update? No? Ramp update? No, I haven't got any updates on any ramps. I think I'm going to resign myself to spending my life rolling around under cars on the floor.
Good exercise.
How is it good exercise?
Well, you've got to get up and down, up and down.
It would be very nice to have a ramp or a lift of some description, but I can't see it happening anytime soon. Let's win the lottery, of course. I think Christmas Day special Lotto in France is, I can't remember how much, 15 million? 20 million? I don't know. Oh, that ramp out there. We did that a long time ago. When did we do that ramp?
Dad did it when I was at work last year.
Yeah, Dad come over and he did the ramp. We need to we need to treat the wood, and I've got to take a few boards off down the bottom so we can put some concrete down and put some membrane, because the grass keeps growing up through the boards. Yeah, so we did do that, and it's worked quite well actually so far.
Have you not got a picture of it?
No.
You can show them on your iPad. Oh yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I've still got it on the somewhere. Hang on,
Ooh. Ooh.
somewhere. Oh, for God's sake, child!
Ooh. Speak up, Brown. Don't mumble. Are you airdropping it to me?
Oh, I'm trying to find it.
Oh.
I've got a before.
Oh, I had a sore on my arse.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
A sore on my arse.
He said last time you spoke you had a sore on your rear that made it impossible to do it. Well, I did. I had a bed sore on my arse. That...
Coming through.
Well...
That's the before, obviously.
I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Let me just put my brakes on because I'm rolling around all over the place here. That's what it looked like before. It's a bit bright, isn't it? And that's what it looks like now. So there's a little bit of a platform, bit of decking, and then the ramp, obviously. I think you can see that. It's quite bright. On the camera it's bright. I don't know what it looks like on here.
Right.
Well, I can see it on here. Oh yeah, you can see that. So yeah, we did do the ramp. Well, we did. The royal we. Dad came over.
I was working.
And Tina was working, and he did the ramp. And as I say, I've just got to take up a couple of boards on the end and just put a bit. It's sort of dug out, and we've got to put some concrete in there just to sort of support the weight. And then put a bit of membrane underneath it. We've got some membrane out there just to stop all the grass growing up through it. Yeah, it's quite a good job. Nice and sturdy. Tina must be pleased. Yeah, that other one was getting a little bit rickety, and yeah, it wasn't the best. But it did a bloody good job for the time that we had it. The first one was just a bit of plywood, wasn't it? With a couple of little blocks underneath it, and that worked for a while. But say we just need to put some wood preserver or something on it. We've got some oil stuff to put on it. It's just one of these jobs you've got to get round to it, isn't it? It's we've got a lot of those sort of jobs around here. Nothing's easy in the bloody wheelchair. That's the trouble. But we will get there in the end. I say our big priority after the Hobbit's had her surgery is get the Panda back in the garage, get that all fixed up, get a CT on it, and get it sold. And try and get some money back in the house. There you go. There you bloody go. I don't know what else has happened since last live stream or through the year. One of the big things, isn't it?
It did sort of take over from June, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'd been back at work for a month.
Yeah, you'd been back to work, hadn't you? And then you had to go to the doctors. Oh, yeah. I've been on here for 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Drunk 4 beers.
I've drunk 4 beers. I've had a dash of imitation Baileys. And I've had a few peanuts and some... How'd you say that? Cacahuètes. I've had some cacahuètes. Cacahuète. Tina's not too struck on these.
It might just be that they're not.
They're coated peanuts with a paprika flavour. They're actually quite nice. Physio and progress have gone out the window. Physio stopped coming to the house. Why did he stop coming? He went on holiday, didn't he?
I think COVID.
Oh, COVID. Well, no, because he was coming round with his mask on.
No.
He was, because we was all masking up. It was between the lockdowns.
Was it?
Anyway.
Did he go on holiday and then he said we could get in touch?
Yeah, he went on holiday and he said we can get in touch and arrange when he got back. But I wasn't making any progress. He was just going through the motions.
It was the same old.
And it was the same old thing. He started off at twice a week and then it was once a week. And I said to Tina, I'm sitting around waiting for him. He comes in and we do the same what we do every time. Nothing is happening progress-wise. So I thought, well, I could do all that on my own. But you don't, do you? So he stopped coming. I did get on with the exercise. I did put out that video. I was up on the multi-gym and I was on the exercise bike.
Blame me.
I can get up to the multi-gym on my own, but the exercise bike's a bit tricky because I can do it, but it has to be clear in the other room so that I can pull the bike out from the wall, pull the chair out so that I can lift the chair up. It's like a swivelly chair and it lifts up on a ram. Then I can get onto the chair, get onto the bike, do my exercise and then get off it. That normally the Hobbit helps me with that. So we'll be blaming the Hobbit. So I've not really been getting on the bike or the multi-gym or doing my exercises. I've put a bit of weight back on again. But, as like I said, there's no point me starting before Christmas. Because, you know what it's like. Every year you buy a load of crap and you eat and eat and eat and drink. So right, we'll get Christmas out of the way and then it's bang, I'm on it. Cut my meal sizes right down again. Get up on the multi-gym and get on the bike. Even if the Hobbit's not here, I can pull the bike out and get on it. And we're going to get fit. Because being overweight is not going to help. If there is a possibility of me walking again, being overweight is not going to help trying to stand up on my legs. Because I've got no strength in my legs at all. There's enough strength that I can do the exercise bike, I can drive the car, I can drive the tractor. But I've not got enough strength to sort of use your legs to stand up. I can push myself up, or on the standing frame I can pull myself up, but I haven't got the strength in the back of my legs. I can't remember how many muscles it says that you use when you go to stand up, but it's unbelievable.
40 odd, wasn't it?
It's quite a lot of muscles. Now, there's the last time we saw the doctor at the centre, the time before, he said, "Oh, you'll never walk again." So, thanks for that, mate. You've really made my day. Then the next time we went back in, and he was, "Oh, this, that, and the other," and he said, "Well, it's the muscles in your backside and the back of your legs that you need to stand up." I said, "Well, how do I exercise them then?" He says, "Well, in the wheelchair, as you're in a wheelchair, it's going to be very difficult." So, you know, any pointers would be great. But obviously, being overweight isn't going to help. So the idea, as of January, is to cut the food right down, get exercise in, lose some weight, and then start doing my exercises on the bed, get my legs going again, get standing up, doing all my standing up exercises, and see if I can get any strength back in my legs to get standing up and get walking. Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know. It's the feeling in my legs. If I touch like my thighs, say on your arse here, if I push on my arse going down into my thighs, I can feel that in my toes. I'll get like sort of pins and needle feeling in my toes, and it's like the weirdest thing ever. And it's like, well, I don't remember it used to doing that before. So there is nerve damage there somewhere. Now, whether that is, they did say that when it all kicked off and it happened, obviously the aorta went and the carotid arteries, something happened there. One of the arteries that goes down to one of the kidneys went wrong, and they've put stents on that. I've got stents in my neck. New aorta. They said there was something on, what was it, medulla?
Oblongata.
They said there was some damage on the medulla oblongata.
Something like that.
Somewhere around in that vicinity. But didn't think about it at the time. But afterwards, probably about a year afterwards, the Hobbit said, "I wonder," because I had a bed sore when I was in the hospital and it was deep. Would you say it was down to the bone?
I think it might have been when you first went in. I never saw it then, but when they let me see it, it was still at least the size of a 50p piece and probably about that deep.
Yeah.
And it had healed a lot.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that the bed sore I had in the hospital went almost to the bone. That is, it's like she said, do you think that damaged the nerves? That bed sore when I was in the hospital. Say at the time we didn't think about it, but when she mentioned it, it's like, bloody hell, yeah, it could be, because they've done nerve tests on my legs. They wire you up to electrodes and they zap you, and the electrodes pick up the readings, and they did it one time. Then I went back a few months afterwards, wasn't it? And they did it again.
Yeah, you were in the centre.
Yeah. So they did it once while I was in the hospital, and then they did it again when I was in the rehab place, and there was no improvement in those couple of months. So, who knows? Perhaps video the sessions. It might help to motivate you. Yeah, I know I've got to lose weight. Being overweight is just uncomfortable. You know, whether you're walking or sat down. So I know I've got to do that, and I just need to get fit. Whether I end up being in the wheelchair for the rest of my life, you know, as long as I'm sort of healthy. And I think when I was on the exercise bike, my legs were a bit stronger than they are now. It is amazing how quick the condition goes off when you're not using it. I'm not qualified, but do nerves repair themselves? I don't know. No idea. About
Some can. But
some nerves can repair themselves apparently, but
depends how badly damaged they are.
yeah, whether it is this medulla oblongata area that was damaged, but everything above my waist is fine. You know, I can feel pain, hot and cold, above my waist. Below my waist, I can't feel pain. You know, I could cut my leg open with a standing knife and I wouldn't feel it. I can't feel hot and I can't feel cold on my legs. But I can feel touch. If I touch my legs, I can feel it, which is a bit bizarre. So I've absolutely no idea. So that bed sore was proper deep, and it was slap bang on the bottom of my spine. Sort of coccyx area, isn't it? But just...
It's above that.
It's above the coccyx area. Trying to feel now. It's healed up now. But
It's probably about there.
Yeah.
So it's good hand's width above your coccyx.
yeah. So whether that... Because when the Hobbit actually saw it, she said it was still about 50 pence piece sized, and it was still about sort of that deep.
And that had been weeks.
That had been a good few weeks after the doctor at the rehab centre had seen it. He was shocked. I remember him and the whole team in there. They were sort of like, like that, you know, saying, "Oh my God, they've really not taken that seriously, have they?" Sort of thing. And it's like, well, I can't see it. It's behind me.
Or feel it.
I can't feel it. Obviously, when I was in the intensive care, I was on my back. When I came out of intensive care and they put me on the cardiac ward, they was talking about rolling me on my side.
They did it once.
And they did it once. They rolled me on my side for 2 hours, and then they rolled me onto my other side for 2 hours, then they put me back on my back, and that was it. Having said that, I was proper ill, wasn't I?
Well, you had loads of infections, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I did have a lot of infections when I was on the cardiac ward. MRSA, E. coli, urine infections. Kidneys were
all over the place.
Yeah. No, it's both legs. Yeah, I managed to pull my big toenail out, clean out. It came out, I pulled my sock off and my big toenail was in it. Didn't feel it. And when I looked at it, and I thought, that's my big toenail inside my sock. That should really be hurting. And I sort of Oh, pardon me. You know when you get like these people that are amputees, and they say they get like a phantom limb syndrome thing. It was sort of like a phantom toenail thing, and I was looking at my toe, all covered in blood, thinking that should be really throbbing, and I could almost sort of feel it, but it wasn't, if you know what I mean. It was imaginary. When we lived at the old house, we used to go round to our friends. It was their holiday home, so we used to look after their garden for them, and they had a swimming pool. And I used to sit on the side of the swimming pool, dangling my legs in, thinking, oh, this is very nice. Push off and jump in. Of course, top half of my body goes in the water. It was bloody freezing, wasn't it? Talk about a shock. Shock to the system. So that was a bit of a, oh, you bugger. But, yeah, so it's both legs. The annoying thing is I can move my legs, you know. Not full motion, but I can, you know, pick my legs up. I can bend my leg at the knee. I can't really move my feet, but that could just be lack of use. So now when I was in intensive care in Bordeaux, when I first came round after all the operations and that, I could actually move my toes, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I could move my toes and everything. I can't do that now. I could, when I was sort of having physio, I could just about move my big toe on my right foot, but I can't do anything on my left foot. That's really weird. Rubbing my legs makes no difference. It's just weird. Weird, no? But I don't know. It's one of them things, isn't it? So we will persevere with exercise and diet after Christmas.
I shall stop saying, well, I've got to eat to keep my strength up.
Yeah.
And eating shit.
The Hobbit doesn't help with my diet. But I don't help myself either. As you'll notice. Peanuts. Lovely. Anyway, we'll get the Hobbit sorted out first, and then I'll get cracking. Yeah, it is a sad life when you can't eat. Trouble is, being sat down all day, you don't. I'm not doing the exercise. When we was working, I wasn't ever skinny, was I?
No.
But I could keep a constant weight, if you know what I mean, because we was working. It was quite active work, gardening and all that kind of thing. And I've never been. Well, I haven't been skinny since I was 15, 16. But yeah, trouble is I do like food. And the trouble is, when we make food, I think the trouble is because our frying pans and stuff like that is so big. When you're making stuff just for two people, it's like you're looking at the pan, you think that don't look like a lot in there. I'll just chuck another whatever in. It's like when we're peeling potatoes for chips and stuff. It's like, oh, don't look a lot. Let's do another potato. And then when you actually cook them and you put them on your plate, it's like, bloody hell, look at this, all that lot. But then you eat it. So we've got to get back into the old portion control again. That's a big thing for us.
We were doing quite well.
We was doing well, and I was losing weight, but obviously can't blame the Hobbit. But
you will.
No, because obviously we've been trying to keep the Hobbit well fed. Because when her dad had cancer, obviously it was a different sort of cancer, and it wasn't detected for a long time, was it?
No, too long.
he did suffer a bit, didn't he, on chemo?
Yeah, he never lost his hair, but he was so ill anyway. He was 6 foot and he weighed the same as I did.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'7".
So he lost a lot of weight because he wasn't eating very well. But so we said with the Hobbit, we're going to try and keep her well fed, and if there's something she can't eat, we'll find something she does eat. And trouble is, she does have food fads, don't you? Years ago, the fad was croissants with ham and mayonnaise.
No, salad dressing.
Oh, no, sorry. It was croissants with salad dressing and ham. Very strange, but that's all she would eat. I was making her homemade naan breads, and you went through a phase of naan bread, smeared with Marmite, cheese on top, grill it. We do live like kings, yes.
Prior to cancer, I was getting really good at eating quite normally.
Yeah.
But it has been an excuse to fade back into the, I'll only eat.
I don't know if you can hear what she's saying. I think the microphone is picking it up. I see the things going across on the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, she does have funny food fads. And I know I said I'll blame her for me eating too much. You don't do it so much, but you always used to, if you can eat it, shift it onto my plate.
I have done it a bit recently because I haven't got the appetite as much. But
And she'll say, oh, do you fancy this? Oh, I'm going to have some of these. Do you want some? And it's like, oh, don't give me the option. So I've give her, oh, he can hear you loud and clear.
all right.
So I said, January, don't offer me any food. Just eat at meal times. And that will do. So that's the plan for the new year. So diet and exercise. Get the Panda fixed and sold, hopefully. Because they're making good money at the moment, the old Panda 4x4s. I had a look on the Bon Quan earlier. Anywhere from sort of four grand up to 8 grand. Obviously, the more expensive ones are in slightly better condition. I reckon we'll probably put it up for about 5.5 and won't take any less than 4 for it, or even 4.5, because it will be an absolutely sound car. It'll be all new suspension brakes, wheel bearings, oils, the lot. Bodywork's pretty clean. The interior's a bit tatty, but someone can deal with that afterwards, can't they? Hopefully that will sell. So that's that. What else for next year?
Hopefully I'll get back to work.
Hopefully the Hobbit can get recovered and back to work. We got the wall to finish. That royal again. Dad said he was going to come over in the spring and finish that wall in the garage, the breeze block wall, which will be nice. And I can sort of finish off in there, get that wall painted, get the floor painted, set up a workbench, get some Wi-Fi up in the garage so I can do some live streaming up in the garage. That's a plan for next year. Hopefully it'll come off. Obviously when the weather picks up a bit nicer, we'll be doing stuff in the garden. Yeah, there's the digger to fix. Of course that needs money spending on it as well, so that's just plodding along until we can afford to fix it properly. Not used it really much, to be honest. It's just been sat outside the garage. It's got the grapple on it. What do we use the grapple for?
I know you picked up all the stuff that Ollie cut down and moved.
Oh, that's the last time we used it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, last time we used the digger was September the 28th. When my brother came, he cut down that tree out the front of the house. I think that was on the Mad Dog Farm channel. Was it then?
It was after he'd been.
Yeah.
Oh no, the last time we used it, I had the bucket on because it was for the solar panels.
No,
The second set of solar panels.
We've put the grapple back on it.
Yeah, but whether we've put the grapple back on it and got on with...
Because he chucked it all over the fence, didn't he?
Yeah. I think the grapple's on it ready to move.
We did use it with a grapple on.
I don't know.
Because I went into the woods to move some... Anyway, we've not used it since October. It probably won't start again. The battery's just flat, so we'll just put the jump starter on it, fire it up, warm it up, grease it up. I have greased it up because I bought a new grease gun. I was having a bit of a struggle with my old one, so that's all greased up, good to go. But it does need a bit of money spent on it. It needs new tracks. It needs both the diesel filters doing it. It needs the whole housings. It's got a filter on the tank and a filter on the engine. It needs both of those really. One's held together with cable ties. It needs a full service as well.
Oh, turn that heating up, Christ. It's 11 o'clock.
My brother is fine. He was on here earlier. He said he was going to come back on, but I've not seen him. No, he's not got the boat anymore. Got rid of the boat. I can't remember if he had a motorbike at the time, but he's got 3 motorbikes now. He's got a Kawasaki Z1000 SX touring looking thing. He's got a Royal Enfield 500. That's quite a nice looking thing. It's brand new. What the hell? 69.com. Have a good time, find your love. Have a good time, find your love.
Oh, it's a spam, it's a bot.
Yeah. I've never had them on a live stream before.
Get rid of them. You can...
Yeah, let's have a quick look here. Let's see if we can get rid of them.
It's that time of night.
Don't really want to be finding my love. I've already got one of them.
It's still that time of night.
Yeah, no Mr. Dibbles. I don't know where he is. Hang on, I've just got to get rid of these bots. Oh, come on. Computer's having a right old go slow at the minute. Yeah, let me just delete this other one and I'll report it as well. Find your love. I must be getting popular if I'm getting this sort of crap in the bloody live stream chat. Come on. This computer's having a right old go slow. Here we go. Let's report. Yeah. You too could find your love. Unwanted. Let's say it's pornographic or sexually explicit material. It's not exactly sexually explicit, but it's not child abuse, it's not hate speech, it doesn't promote terrorism. Oh, sorry about that, Mick. He said, hang on a minute, he's just writing the link down. Yeah, Mr. Dibbles, I've not spoken to Mr. Dibbles for a while. The last time I spoke to him, he was going to come over and see us, but then he decided probably best not to, because they meet a lot of people. His wife runs a dog training thing. They meet a lot of people on that, and he said with obviously the Hobbit on chemo, the old immunity's not that great, so they're going to wait to come over and see us when it's all sort of settled down and that. And I think they're quite busy over there as well. But it's getting quite late. I'm going to have to go in a minute because it's going to be bedtime. I've been on here for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So yeah, it says that there's still 8 people on here. I think he got an electric one. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. Because I had all the bits and I had it running and I got it running correctly, but it wouldn't rev up flat out. It wasn't pushing the plunger on the carburetor properly. And but I got some bits, and I think he was a bit desperate, and he took it in bits and put it back together, and he couldn't get it working right either. Who knows? They have about as much luck as we do, I think. She had a van, I don't know what it was, a Fiat Ducato. Engine's gone in that, so they got a little Suzuki Samurai for running about in, which is not the best because they've obviously got a lot of dogs to cart about. But yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? So I do believe I'm going to call it a night. It is now. Oh yeah, we did get it running forwards. I put the correct coil on it in the end. It was on a changeover year. That saw up until 2012 had a certain one coil, and 2012 onwards had a different coil. I got the one for the early ones and fired it up and it ran backwards. I then got the coil for the later ones, put it on and it ran perfect. So there you go. The timing was on the coil. You've obviously got your 2 pegs, and they were slightly out, so it just made it run backwards, which is not ideal on a chainsaw because it will only cut one way. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night now because it is almost 11:15, and we're normally in bed by 11. And yeah, I've had a bit of a shit day, so I need to get to bed, I think. But so yes, our festive live stream hasn't been very festive. It's been a lot of doom and gloom, really. But we're looking forward to a better 2023. I will be putting out some videos over Christmas. I will be filming over Christmas. I've had some requests about some driving about locally over Christmas and some bits and pieces. I will keep you all informed what happens with the tyre saga, and obviously keep you all informed about the Hobbit. And I think that is pretty much going to be it. And yeah, I'll probably try and do these live streams a bit more regular next year, and we'll keep on top of it and keep you all informed. Because I know a lot of you are quite interested out there, you know, obviously about the Hobbit and bits and pieces that are going on here. So yeah, I'm going to call it a night, and thank you all for joining us, and yeah, bye for now.